think we're live, right?
Nice. Welcome. Let's get the people in.
Yeah. So guys, welcome everyone. Welcome to the. Are we muted? We're muted there. Let me unmute myself here.
Hello, hello.
Can you guys hear us?
Perfect. Then we are live for the first time in ZenML MLOps Day. Very happy to welcome all of you. So we are already 20 people and the room is filling up. That's really amazing. Warm welcome. So we gathered the whole team together today to first of all introduce the whole team to you and to show off what we can do with ZenML and just work a little bit and answer all your questions. So very, very happy to say hello to everyone. Cool. I have a quick presentation prepared for you, guys.
You can join the meeting and share your screen there.
Okay, let's do it.
Meanwhile, we can set everything up.
In the meanwhile, maybe I would love to introduce my wonderful co-host today, Baris, or maybe you do that on your own.
Yeah. So, hi everyone, my name is Baris. I'm a machine learning engineer. I've been with the team for quite some time now. I've been a part of this amazing journey which led to us here, and happy to share with all of you what we've achieved, especially in the last few months, and to discuss what might come next and discuss everything with you. So, should we do the whole introduction?
No, I would have done that later.
Okay.
I sent you the link. Maybe it's easier if you can.
Not really. You can do it. Would be great. So.
Okay, good.
The
Then
main stage.
let me quickly. I want to get into the.
No, go to this one. So mute yourself, video off, and perfect.
Filling it up, amazing. So, please also admit me.
I think somebody already did. Yeah, perfect.
Great. So then, let's share the tab. Great. So let's see how many people we are. Oh, already 30. So that's really great. 5 minutes after start. So I think we are fairly a lot of people right now to start really kick it off. So I'm Adam. I'm at ZenML since the start. And Baris is like here for also quite a time. So I'm really happy that we do this ZenML MLOps Day for the very first time today. Why are we doing this though? So today we pushed out on LinkedIn and Twitter and everywhere our big news, our launch. Meaning we got a release done after many releases which came over the last 12 weeks. So 12 weeks ago we met together and did a retreat, hybrid, some in person, some online. But we were trying to figure out what do we want to build over the next period of time, in this case, round about 12 weeks. So back then we decided to build a minimum delightful product. Also some call that minimal viable product. And we built so many, we wanted to set ZenML on a really cool foundation of things, of integrations, of features, and get the growing team onboarded as well on the side. So it was really amazing what we've done over the last, what we've done together over the last 12 weeks. And this is just something what we wanted to now launch. On top of that, we also launched a website today, a new one, which should address really the interests a bit more. And this is also why we are setting out today this MLOps Day, because we will have different channels, and we would love to get you at your real interest. So this is why we are setting up different rooms, and here right now we have different topics, and I would love to also give the team the chance to introduce themselves. So Adam and Barish, we're already done, but now I would like to go from the left to the right and maybe get your introductions right away. So Michael, if you're set up already, please start. And also please tell us what you're gonna show today in your team.
Workflow to run. We're going to use that, and using these workflows and actions, trying to orchestrate our pipeline. So that would be, as long as you don't hit like any GitHub limit, a completely free way to run your pipelines, separate steps each in a separate Docker image. And yeah, we're going to try to get some version of that running today.
Cool, thank you, Michael. And by the way, I would also make a disclaimer that we are recording, so we are live on YouTube as well. So just anyone who wants to interact has to be aware of that. Just that you know, disclaimer up front. Great. Ayush, would you take over, please, and introduce yourself?
Sure. This is Ayush. I'm currently working as a student working MLOps engineer over here, where I make examples of amazing products ZenML, like we build Zen files, basically the end-to-end production grade projects, which is a starting template of any of your projects for you to start. So we are really excited for it. I'm super excited for it to get started and build Orchestrator with Michael.
Amazing. Then Stefan, deployment team today.
Yes, thank you, Adam. Hi, everyone. Really excited to be here. I'm Stefan. I am a DevOps engineer, cloud engineer, reinvented as machine learning engineer. I've been with ZenML for quite a while now. And what I want to do today is, as you may already know, ZenML has support for Seldon Core as a model deployer. And today we want to extend that to also cover KeyServe. Going to be a really interesting exercise, and I'm here to walk you through it and hopefully get something done by the end of the meeting.
Amazing. And everyone, I don't need to interact, just Safwan, then say to Alexei when he can start and so on. So thank you, Stefan. Safwan, please.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? My name is Safwan. I am an intern MLOps engineer here at ZenML with the data scientist background. I have joined ZenML because I feel that they are building this great product and I really believe in it. And I think we are doing some great stuff here in this team. Today I'm joining Stefan to work on the KeyServe deployment. As we have the Seldon one, I think KeyServe is one of the main component for deployment that we should have, and I hope you're gonna enjoy this today. I think Alexei.
Right, exciting to be here today. I'm Alexei. I'm originally a computer vision machine learning engineer turned MLOps engineer, because that was the most fun part of the job, I guess, and really excited to help build up ZenML. Today in the secrets team, we're going to be working on secret managers. We already have an integration for AWS and GCP secret manager. So we're going to be working on the Azure secret manager today from the point of view of any user. So we're not going to be directly building it into ZenML. We're going to be building it as if we're running a project and we want to extend it. And very excited to bring you along on that journey.
My name is Alex. I'm based in the south of the Netherlands. I come from a kind of non-traditional background. Originally had an earlier life as a historian, but yeah, now I'm working as an ML engineer here at ZenML. I originally worked together with Alexei on some of our earlier secrets integration pieces. So I'm interested to see how it will work with Azure, with which I'm not sure whether either of us have that much familiarity with. So we're happy to bring you along the ride of figuring this stuff out. How's that?
Okay, then I will take the mic over first. Hey, I'm Felix. I joined ZenML just about a month ago. Before I was working at a different machine learning startup, also as an ML engineer, and was super amazed by the ZenML product. Also wanted to get it used in our company. And yeah, now even better, I got to join ZenML and build the amazing framework with all of you guys. So very happy to be here. And our group, so me and Hamza today, will build ChatOps tools, so Slack and Discord integrations, which you can use to automatically report, let's say, data drift or your model accuracy or similar, somehow via Slack alerts or via Discord alerts. Last but not least, I will hand over to...
This is going to be awkward, so I'm just going to scroll up here. So as you might have seen that I'm on both, and I'm furiously typing in the background because I'm trying to promote this event as much as I can. So if you do have social media, please push it on LinkedIn or on Twitter. Please tweet about it. We want as many people joining us as possible. We're going to have a 4-hour stream about this, but anyway, that's maybe more for Adam and Barish. About myself, I am one of the co-founders at ZenML and have been working in MLOps for about 5 years. Also with in my previous startup where we were doing predictive maintenance, and learned a lot about deploying machine learning in production at that stage, and took a lot of those learnings and put them into ZenML. But really 7 months ago, ZenML was nothing but just a few commits on GitHub, and all the people who have just introduced themselves are really the backbone of this project, spread out across the world and taking on a humongous challenge. And all of you in the call are giving us a lot of support. So thank you so much for being here, and hopefully you'll enjoy the next 4 hours, and we'll go into the details of how exactly ZenML works and how to extend it. All right, back to you guys, Barish and Adam.
Thank you very much. That was great. Yes, and now we are planning to dive into the breakout rooms right away. Or if somebody has a question up front, would be also happy to answer that. Otherwise, please, everyone else, get prepared to jump into the breakout rooms.
So maybe let me explain how we'll do this. So right now, as you know, we're all in this meeting, and at the same time we are live on YouTube. And what we want to do is me and Adam will host this event, and what we'll do, there will be 4 separated rooms, and us two will be jumping between those rooms, and let's say we will go to Ayush and talk about orchestration. Then we can jump to the deployment team and talk about deployment with Safan and Stefan and so on. So we will go between these rooms. If you want, you can join us on YouTube, ask your questions, jump through the rooms with us. Or if you are especially interested in one of the topics, we'll post the links right now. And there will be streams for those separated rooms as well. You can always join those 2 guys in their corresponding hangouts and learn more about the stuff that you're interested in. If not, you can always stay with us. We'll be here, me and Adam will be answering questions, we'll be jumping through rooms and just talk about ZenML.
And commenting for sure on the work of everyone.
Yeah. So perfect.
Cool.
So we have the links in the chat for everyone in Hangouts, and if you guys can also put the links on YouTube, that would be great. Perfect. It's already there.
Yes, just not all of them. 200 characters limit for this one.
Okay. So we'll also put the links on YouTube. As I've said, feel free to join the single rooms or feel free to stay with us on YouTube and keep the conversation going. And at any time, so this is a chance for all of us to both to get to know each other better, and also if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, this is the perfect platform. Would be great if you use either the chats or the Hangouts.
Great. The deployment just did that. 1 second. Okay, cool. Then I hope everything is clear. If not, you can always ask everything everywhere. So we're online. The individual sessions will not be recorded. Just this. So there was a question in the chat.
Actually, it will be.
Not the individual ones, but the YouTube stream. And this one, right?
Yeah.
I think
Okay. Yes. Sorry. It will be recorded. Sorry, I was confused. Cool. Then, guys, get started in your rooms, tied up, and we're gonna visit you in a minute. We're gonna start with which team? We're gonna start with.
I mean, you put the orchestration team first, and I think this is a great topic to start with. So we'll be with Michael and Ayush in just about a minute. You guys can go, Ayush and Michael. Actually, everybody, you guys can go and set up your rooms. We'll be visiting you really soon. So
cool. Then a question between Barish. Why are you working with ZenML?
There is a really good pickup line that I've heard before. It's basically scratching my own itch. So I started my journey as a machine learning engineer, where actually I was working also with Hamza and Adam, and we've been doing our own ML solutions, right? And the more you get into it, the more you want to do things more properly. After one point, it gets really hard, and when you dive deeper and deeper into the space of MLOps, it becomes really difficult to set up a proper system which is modular, which is production ready, and we had an itch, and I think internally we started scratching that itch back when we were first doing our own solutions, and at one point we were like, okay, I think we have a pretty good grasp on this, and let's build a tool around it, and I think that's how ZenML came to be. That's a big motivation for me.
Nice, that's great to hear. So scratching the own itch.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. And what is the coolest thing now for the last release? I'm going to put you on the spot now, right? Without preparation, by the way. I haven't told him this question before. So what is for you the biggest thing now since we launched our MVP?
I mean, there has been a lot of stuff going on. It's hard to sum everything up. One thing I think, which is one of the most important thing, is that we are right now in a very good place of understanding what we want to do, what our vision is, and our understanding of the space and how we can help people. And through all the struggles that we had, through all the battles that we fought and won, I would say, in the last 12 weeks, I think we have a pretty good understanding of how to help people overcome the MLOps problem. I think that's been our biggest challenge, and with all types of things like extensibility, modularity, integrations and everything, I think they're all serving that purpose, and I think that's one of our biggest takeaways. And with the new, we have now, as Adam said, a new website. You can see what we have, I think in more detail there, but yeah, I'll just give you guys a teaser.
Great.
Should we switch maybe?
Then let's annoy our teammates somewhere in the rooms.
Yeah, and for everyone still in the Hangouts, once again, we are live on YouTube. Come join us in that room, ask us questions there, or if you want to switch to one of the other hangouts with specific topics, you can also find them in the chat.
Great. I will just repost it for everyone who just joined. And then I think we are set to go.
Cool. I'll be leaving this meeting. Let's join. We're still here on YouTube. This one. I actually need the links now as well.
A little quickly.
I'll get them from Discord.
Discord, you got it?
Yeah, I got it.
So we already have some people joining the other rooms. That's amazing.
Things are a bit slow on my end. I don't think this. But I'll be right in the orchestration channel in a second. Did you send it?
I sent it to you.
Yeah. Perfect. So this is the orchestration channel. And here, let's go to that channel. Oh, nice. There are already some people there. Perfect.
Your pipeline on your local machine. Just taking a look at that. It literally is just that. It's a for loop over the steps, and it's executing.
The mainstream is coming to you, Michael. And
yes, I've seen.
How are you guys doing?
Well, we were just starting with a really basic introduction on orchestrators, I think. But essentially just waiting for you guys to come here and ask questions, maybe for the other guys to join. Could you hear us?
No.
Now we can hear you.
Sorry. The switching got a problem.
Yeah, I was saying we were starting with an introduction on the orchestrators. And yeah, essentially it's just bridging the time until you came here. I'm not sure if you have any specific plans on what you want to ask first. As the current implementation, well, there is no implementation, right? So it's going to be a lot of trial and error initially to get to some working prototype with the GitHub Actions. So I'll just leave it at that, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask them now.
So maybe then, right off the bat, I can maybe ask you a question. So can you give us a bit more background about the orchestrators and what kind of an orchestrator that we want to build today?
Yes.
And increase the font size.
Okay. I'll just start at a really basic thing, I guess, is an orchestrator is what, if you write a ZenML pipeline, I'm not sure if everyone's familiar with that, but we allow you to write steps and combine them into pipelines. So you define inputs and output of steps, connect those steps together, and that essentially forms a pipeline. And the really simple case is those are all Python functions. If you want to run it locally, we just execute the Python functions. And that's essentially it. But as soon as you get to as soon as you don't want to run your pipelines locally, you need some orchestrator, it's called, which executes those pipelines for you. So essentially, in a different environment, it runs a single step. In most cases, once that step is finished, the steps or downstream steps that depend on this step can then be started. And those are what orchestrators or the orchestrator abstraction in ZenML is for. And today, what we're going to build is what I already mentioned previously, is GitHub Action, GitHub Workflow Orchestrator. I will also probably let me quickly share a GitHub Action in our ZenML repo. I think you should be able to see it now, right? So what we can see here is whenever we at ZenML push something to our develop branch or create a new pull request, It will run some setup which installs ZenML on the GitHub runner, then does some linting, we run some unit tests, we run some integration tests. And as you can already see, this is also sort of a pipeline, right? These 3 steps all depend on this installation step. And all of these steps get executed on a separate GitHub runner. So essentially, GitHub provisions some resources for you and tells you whatever you, or like lets you execute some code on that run. If we take a look at, for example, one of these workflows, they are defined in YAML files, and you can specify jobs, and GitHub will run them for you. And now our plan is to sort of have our ZenML pipeline here. So we will have one job for each step in the pipeline, which will, as the end goal, sort of initially build a Docker image, and then each of those jobs. Can you do an echo right now?
Yeah. Michael, yeah, sorry, Michael, I was unmuting. Can you increase the font size? I barely can read it.
On which page? Here?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Well, the actual code doesn't matter too much. Essentially, we can run multiple jobs in here, and each of those jobs in the end should be a ZenML step. So this will be the first step of your pipeline. This could be the second step, and GitHub also allows us to specify, hey, this depends on some other step which needs to run before that. And that's how we're going to try to implement this structure of your pipeline in a way that it allows GitHub to run some of your actions in parallel. Like if 2 steps don't depend on each other, they don't need each other in the workflow that they're using here, and that allows those to run in parallel. And once you get to a step which requires some previous step to finish, we can model that this way. And once all the steps are finished or done running, that essentially means that your pipeline has finished executing. So that is like the rough idea of what we're trying to implement. So essentially we will generate these YAML files in a way that they execute your ZenML pipeline. And then that's the bare bones implementation, I guess. What we then need to figure out is a good way to, how do we trigger these pipelines? Like there's many events that we could specify to run your pipeline, for example, on each push to a specific branch. But maybe we just need to run your pipeline once, so we somehow need to figure out a way to implement that. We need to connect this to some kind of way to get access to the GitHub secrets, which we will need to connect to some other infrastructure, like a MySQL database that you might need to run ZenML, and lots of other stuff to happen. I think that we're probably not going to get to today, but we at least hope to get something running that actually runs a ZenML pipeline once you commit something and push that to GitHub, and that should trigger running a pipeline.
Amazing, thank you, Michael. Are there questions in between, by the way?
Doesn't seem like it. And then we'll probably, not sure if you have anything about it or Adam. If not, we'll probably get going with the implementation, or at least some research on what we're going to do first.
Yeah, so one thing perhaps is that I can add is, I mean, the focus on the extensibility. I think this was one of the biggest values of like ZenML, and being able to do that just on the go with something that we decided on, like the GitHub Actions, is quite. I find it quite valuable. You can think about it in a way that ML solutions, right? They are generally have a tendency to be like custom tailored to each task. So projects and infrastructure, they do not look alike for every single thing. And you with ZenML, you already have a way of like configuring your own stack, but also you're able to extend it to your needs. And what Michael is doing right now, Michael and Ayush are doing right now is exactly that. We had an idea about like a GitHub orchestrator, and thanks to the base abstractions that we have, we can just finally go out there and start implementing the things that we like. So.
Absolutely, and let's see how far we get.
I know for a fact that like this gives Michael a lot of joy. There was a project that you were, I think, quite passionate about, right?
Yeah, I think it's a really unusual orchestrator, I have to say. I'm not even sure how we actually had this idea to try to implement it. But after thinking, I also think it's a good way to get started, because usually when people use ZenML right now with just the implementations that we provide, it's either essentially a local orchestrator, you can run Airflow locally, or you can run Kubeflow either locally or on some cluster-based deployment. But having Kubeflow running on a deployed cluster already requires you to pay something, maintain your Kubeflow deployment and everything. So it's maybe not feasible for everyone, at least to get started.
Yeah.
And GitHub Actions is essentially free, unless you hit some limit probably, which at least we didn't do so far. So you can just use the resources that they provide and run your pipelines that way, completely independent on if your laptop is running or not. If you just run something in the evening, go to sleep, shut down your laptop, and next day you can wake up and see if your pipeline finished running, and all of that for free is a pretty nice use case to move.
Perfect.
I'm not sure what like the bumps along the road will be, why no one else is using it that way, but we will figure it out.
I mean, at this point, it might even be interesting to hear about everyone in the room, what you think about like orchestrating your workflows on GitHub. In a way, you're not just orchestrating some of the classic actions, but also like the ML workflows. And like as of now, we're already like supporting a few orchestrators. Like ZenML comes with integrations that you can install, and like that list will keep growing and growing and growing. So if you guys have any ideas about what kind of orchestrators you would like to see as a new integration and so on, please let us know.
Cool. Okay, Michael, would you give us a little 5 minutes introduction what you're going to do over the next hours or how long ever it will take? And then we would jump over to the next room, but it might be cool for everyone here right now to see if they want to stay right now or see the next topic popping up.
Yes, I can absolutely do that. So I guess depending on how many and who will stay here, we're going to have a short introductory session on orchestrators and our current abstraction, how it works, how to implement a custom orchestrator. Once that is done, or maybe even initially, right away, we will, I guess, get going with just implementing the GitHub Actions orchestrator. We some time ago did some prototype which already generated some YAML files. So that was on a very old basis of ZenML. So probably easier to sort of get inspired by that implementation or copy a few lines rather than trying to merge that into the current develop branch. So yeah, I think I'll take a look at that, copy everything we can reuse from that, and try to generate some of the workflow YAML files, which look reasonable enough to me, that we can sort of push them and try to actually run a pipeline later. It will also need some building of Docker images. Is another thing that we need to handle at some point, probably before running that pipeline. But the initial phase, I would say, is definitely generating the YAML files with the right command and everything that's running.
Great.
Perfect. Just let us know if anything major is about to happen. We'll jump right back at you.
We'll take some time, but we'll definitely do it.
Perfect. Amazing. Then have fun and see you later.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Let's go to the model deployment page. And
we should have told everyone in the call where we go. But we're gonna learn.
But I mean, they're already, I think already the guys who are interested in orchestration.
That's true. That's true.
So okay. By the way, we might have a small hiccup. So YouTube seems to be picking up our voice. It doesn't get the voice from the meter, but they hear it from the mic because it's coming from the Jabra and goes to the mic.
Oops.
So I'll try to fix it. For anyone on YouTube, the quality might be a bit low, but if you do that, then the meeting will echo. Let's put that back there because it was perfect. I went out, checked.
That's good.
I know the quality might be a bit bad, but I'm on it. I'm trying to fix it. It will get better as soon as possible. So that's why we cannot switch to the end.
I see. Okay,
we need this.
Okay.
So perfect. Let's switch to our model deployment page. What do you think?
Yes.
So this should be the link.
Enter the code over here.
Ah, nice. I haven't used this before. This is the...
Yes.
Let's try. Ooh, quite a lot of people here.
Nice. Let's join the party.
Normally, to gain access to those logs, you have to use the code, swing through all the various parts and containers, and finally choose the one that you actually want to look at. This is a nice shortcut that gives you that functionality without you having to even know how to use this file. Get the last 100 lines of this. One other nice feature that ZenML has is also highlights the output really nicely.
Hello from the host team, from Adam and I.
Hello.
We just wanted to come in and say hi, see how you guys are doing.
Well, we have a plan. A plan set up. We're starting with one of two avenues of implementation, and that is to implement this so-called deployment service. Service is just one component of deploying models with KSER. The other one would be what we call a model deploy stack component. We have this, and I was showing this earlier, we have extensive documentation under our extending ZenML section about all of these components in our stacks. Model deploy is one of them. And we're also using, or going to use Seldon as a model for what we're going to do next, because Seldon is really similar to KSER. It runs on Kubernetes, and it has sort of the same workflow to it, different concepts. And we have code that we'll probably use a lot from there. And we started by implementing the base service. This is the base service class that we're extending to have a representation of internal representation used by ZenML and the inference of KSER inference server.
Perfect.
And there are That's what we're doing currently.
Perfect. Like one note, maybe it would be great if you guys can record the meeting.
We are already?
You didn't see the recording, the red button on the top left, I think. On Google Meet, I'm not sure. And besides that, maybe, I know you perfectly laid out the plan, but if you would maybe like explain the concepts of what model deployers mean in ZenML with a few sentences for everybody on YouTube. So how would you describe them? A really short description.
Sure. So getting ZenML to deploy models requires interacting with two core concepts, the core ZenML concepts. One is the model deploy, the other one is service is. If the service is usually using ZenML to represent an external, long-running system or process, then the model deployer would be the overarching manager of several of these services. So you normally use a model deployer to interact with several model servers, to list them, to deploy, to create new model servers, to update them and stop them and delete them. So all of these lifecycle management operations, they need to be implemented through the model deployer. The model deployer is, I can quickly show this. We have a base model deployer class. Some methods, some abstract methods will need to implement. Also the case out here is deploy model, which takes in a configuration that can take many forms and creates a service and returns it. And that gives you an idea of why this is a higher level concept than the service, because it's used not only to manage multiple services but also create them. There is another abstract method that is important, is find model server. This is what we use to, I've just shown this earlier, this is what we use to list serve models. Now this will contact the remote Kubernetes cluster and identify all the model servers that are managed by ZenML and convert them into services and return them as a list of services. There are all sorts of ways you can use this with filtering criteria, because ZenML does more than just create these services. There is also a need to make them an integral part of a pipeline workflow. So you'll see metadata attached to all of these services that will basically tell you which pipeline and which pipeline run was used to create them. The step names and the model name is also important. If you want to quickly identify the model server by the name of the model that it's serving, and of course other types of criteria too. And finally, a few lifecycle management methods that we also have to implement that you can use to stop, rather suspend and resume model server and ultimately delete and remove all of its resources.
Perfect.
That's what model deploy is.
Thank you so much. That was, I would say, quite the explanation. And I mean, we did a similar talk in the room for the orchestrations as well. But it's always, I think, important to note here. So ZenML, as I've said in the other room, comes already with some integrations which allow you to use some of the flavors for these stack components. And when it comes to model deployers, I think MLflow and Selden are like two big names. And I would even like encourage everyone in the room, if you guys can think of any either like big names or any custom implementations that you can think of, please let us know. Any feedback, any comment here is much appreciated. Perfect. So Then, what should we do? Should we see another room or?
I think we need to say hello in the first hour to every room, so that unfortunately we need to leave.
Yes.
See you guys later.
Cool.
Perfect.
Enjoy. See you then.
Enjoy, guys.
So for all the YouTube
So
users,
the weird thing is, maybe let me explain the situation because it's quite interesting. So when we talk in Hangouts, we use this mic. And when we click this button, we mute ourselves.
yes.
But for YouTube, we are also using this mic. But when we click this, it doesn't mute. At the same time, YouTube doesn't pick up my computer audio where people are speaking.
Okay.
But since we have the Jabra sound goes into this because we cannot mute it. So people can hear them.
Okay. Okay, so we must mute, and we can't use the Jabra fully, right? Today, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
But
yeah.
Go ahead.
And keep in mind, this is also like we had a MLOps hour before. This is our first MLOps day, I would say. We're also learning, and we'll try to fix this right away and try to get better with the next iteration. So
Yes. And maybe post the rooms also in the chat again.
Sure.
People are joining. All of them done.
yeah, which one is this though?
Also,
the secrets. I saw it as don't tell stage. I was like, well, which stage is this? Okay, for anyone on YouTube, so I'm gonna put some links in the chat. So those are 4 channels where our team is already working on some projects. If you want, you can stay with us. We'll go to each room, chat with them, and see what they're doing. But if you're interested in one of those topics, you can feel free to join them on Google Meet and ask your questions also there. So we're already down 2 rooms, I would say. We'll visit the secrets manager room, which is the don't tell stage, which I thought was a code or something. But yeah, we're on our way there right now.
okay, so we are streaming something else. Nobody can see us, right?
No, we are streaming this.
Yeah, but nobody can see our faces, right?
Oh yeah, that happens when we join the meeting.
Amazing. Next.
So, here we are. Oh, nice.
Secret manager, a ZenML secret manager that will communicate with this GCP project. But it's still not in our stack. It's just registered, so we could have a look at ZenML secret manager. Yes. And this will tell us, okay, we have this GCP secrets manager, then let us register. So, okay, I'm gonna, instead of doing what's written here, we're not gonna create a completely new stack, we're just gonna update
Let's
our
go
current
to
stack.
each room then.
ZenML stack, update, and then we're gonna add a GCP secret manager to it.
So you need to add the stack name first.
Ah,
Okay.
ZenML stack, update, default.
Hey guys, mind if we interrupt?
Yeah, go ahead.
No problem.
Hello.
So how is it going?
Ah, good.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I'm confused. I guess you're coming from somewhere else.
Yeah, there is a bit of a weird thing about the sound quality. I'm on it right now. We're trying to fix it, but we just wanted to pop in, say hi, how's it going, and just
Bring the crowd, and just wanted a quick introduction what you did already and where you are and what's gonna up next.
Sure, I can take that.
Great.
We're, as you know, we're working on adding in an Azure secrets flavor. But before we got there, we just wanted to make sure everyone was on the same page. So we did a kind of mini introduction to ZenML and talking about pipelines and steps. And we built, as you can see on this kind of very basic pipeline at the top that Alexei built. And now we're just getting into stacks. We're starting off by taking a look at exactly what this looks like for the GCP secrets manager, because our Azure one is going to be modeled pretty closely on it. So we just want to take a look at the code, and I guess we'll take a look at the how to extend the secrets manager guide as well. Yeah, we're just getting to that point where we've just registered the GCP secrets manager.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, and kind of also getting into how stacks work, how stack components work, and how all of that meshes together to give us the ZenML experience.
Yeah, that was also one of the big points.
I will just continue doing what I was doing, or are there any specific questions?
Oh, can you hear us? I muted and unmuted at the wrong time, so just wanted to also tell you guys, like, this was also one of the big ones in the last 12 weeks, right? The whole idea behind the stack components and flavors.
Absolutely, especially the extensibility part of it has been quite cool. So in the past, I think you were locked slightly to the components that we were offering, but now it's really cool that anyone can just write their own components. So if you have any specific needs, it's going to be quite easy for you to build your own components. I hope that's what we can demonstrate today.
Cool.
Really looking forward to that.
Alright, so I'm gonna keep going with this GCP secrets manager to just quickly show how secret managers work with ZenML. We registered our secret manager using this command from our docs, and then we added it, or instead of creating a new stack, we added it to our current stack. So let's have a look. ZenML stack list. That should show us that our current stack now has a secret manager. Okay. So how do we use the secret manager now from within code? To do this, I have taken the liberty of copying the run.py from our example already into my project space. You can try this at home basically by cloning our repo and going into the ZenML samples. I will even put it in the chat here in our room at least. Just do note that you will actually need to have a GCP project and your gcloud login locally to make this work for you. But then you should be able to also follow along with this. Basically what we did is we created a ZenML pipeline. We have a secret loader, which is going to be using the step context so the step context is something that every step can have access to if you so wanted to. Basically, you tell your step to take this context as an input. That means the step now has access to the active stack of the pipeline. So by doing this step will have access to the stack from within it, and that means we can use the context, the stack, to access the secret manager and get the secret name from within the step. That would mean that now, so if we manage to connect all of this together, our step will be able to access our secret manager, get the secret, and query an API, for example. If that's what you want to do. So if you want to load data from an API somewhere that needs login credentials, you would put these into the secret manager instead of putting the password into code or into environment variables. And that way you could ensure that your data, your secret, stay secret. Okay, so what will we have?
Before you go into the next topic, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I think we'll make the switch. So we will, before it gets, in an hour, in the first hour, we want to visit all the rooms.
And now it's 4 minutes, and Hamza's getting nervous, I think, so let's switch over to him.
Yeah, so we'll leave you guys to it. Thank you for all the explanation, and let us know how it goes, and if there's anything which we need to jump onto, just let us know.
We'll message you when we get to the juicy bit.
Amazing. See you then.
Amazing. See you guys.
See you then.
So let's switch to our last room. So for anyone who is on YouTube, I actually saw a small trick that they can use. So as we're joining rooms on Google Meet with this code, I mean, this is visible to you, this is visible in the chat, but if you're here and you want to learn the code, you can always see it on the bottom left side, just so you know. Perfect. Let's join Hamza. And try.
Yeah. In terms of this one, we are mostly in prototyping and stuff. So, like POC taking for kind of POC.
Okay, thank you. So now we are live on YouTube. Hi, YouTube.
Hey guys, we bring YouTube to you.
I can't hear you.
Oh, how about now?
Yeah, now you know.
So guys, what were you doing so far? Now we visited all the 3 other stages, and just wanted to give you also the chance to introduce what you've done so far and what you're up to.
Yeah, maybe last hour we have mainly been focusing on demonstrating the generator, so we haven't actually gone into the spec.
Wait. So sorry to interrupt. Could you guys perhaps switch to mutes? So Hamza, can you mute and Felix can talk? Sorry about that. Sorry for the interruption, Felix. Please go on.
Okay, so Hamza, can you maybe also use the speaker? Okay, now we switched completely.
Sorry.
Okay, so we already started with this component actually a day ago, and already had a little something together, which I would first like to show you what we have been planning. And that is what we will also extend today. So what you can see on screen now is an example for a Slack alerter. So this is a new components that we added. Maybe I can first show you how the basic components would look like. So we would have another face alerter component. And this one for now, let's just focus on the post method. It gets some string, a message that you want to post somewhere, either a Slack channel or a Discord channel, and then all this does is it posts the message to the channel, and it then tells you whether it was successful or not. And this would be very useful, for instance, if you imagine that you want to have data drift detection in your pipelines, for instance with evidently, and then the result of a evidently detection step could be telling you whether there was drift detected or not, and you might want to have automated alerts telling you, hey, there was drift detected in your models, or hey, your model performance is decreasing, and then you can get automatically alerted and can fix the issue before it affects your users. So that's why we're building it. And we have already implemented such a component using Slack, so I can also show you the Slack alert here. So what this does, basically this component has a channel ID, which is the Slack channel. We can start on top. So it has a Slack token, either of a user or of a bot account in your Slack workspace, and it also has a Slack channel ID, which is the channel that you want to post it to. You can also configure this with a config. Anyways, what this does is basically just takes the message and posts it to the respective channel. So it opens a Slack client and then simply posts this message to the respective channel, gets a response, and then returns true if it was successful or false if some error occurred. So pretty simple. And we also, do you want to add something, Hunter?
The setup is perfect. The setup is perfect.
Glad to hear. Okay, yeah, then we also wrote a short example of how exactly this would look like, or how we imagine it to work. So in this one, like you reach the Slack channel ID and the Slack token, as I mentioned, and then you can register. You can register Slack as an integrational. You can install it with Then you get an integration installed Slack. Then you can register a Slack alerter, which you simply give the token and the channel ID, and then afterwards you can call an alert step anywhere in your pipeline. So this alert step also is predefined. You can just plug it into any pipeline you have, which is this alerter step, and all this does, again, it gets string messages input, and it just posts this to whatever alerter you have defined in your stack, which could be the Slack alerter that you use. So what you will do is you register a Slack alerter, add this alerter step somewhere in your pipeline, and then you just call pipeline.run. And in our example here, we made an example where we have a very simple setup of loading data, training a model on the data, and then evaluating this model on the test set. And we then added another step, this predefined step that just posts whatever accuracy the model achieved into the specified section. And yeah, that's it for this simple example. And now what we want to do today, we want to flesh out those alerts a bit more. So in particular, we want to add another function called ask. This one also posts a message to a channel, but then waits for user inputs before proceeding in your pipeline. So this could, for instance, be useful if you have a automatically running deployment pipeline somewhere, and you want to have a human in the loop before you deploy a model that overrides your current production model. So this would write a message saying, hey, a new model was trained on this and this data with this and this accuracy, and you can check the details somewhere. And then only if the user gives an okay in the Slack channel, let's say he writes deploy or looks good to me or something like this, then this ask method would wait for the user input, and then if the user agrees, would return true, otherwise false, and then we can use this in our pipelines to only deploy a model if the user interactively chose so. This is what we want to implement today.
Wow, what a great intro. Really looking forward to how this will shape up. So do you guys have a rough plan about I don't know, maybe time-wise for everyone who is in the stream? Maybe a rough plan. Maybe we'll start with this. We'll try to get...
Yeah,
I know it must be, I didn't realize it in time, it must be quite difficult for you to set up the mic and the speaker. So you guys feel free to go back to the old thing, old setup.
So wait, I can say what I would like to do. Roughly, I think it might only take less than 3 hours. I think it might take an hour. So the first thing we have to do is we have to, like right now, what Felix wrote is it's a ZenML integration that we're extending. So the way I think it probably might be nice to do it is to have just like a custom flavor. So the first thing we do is just register this emitter or the new letter that we're making as a custom flavor. And the next thing we do is we just basically use that custom extended class component and we implement the ask question, and that's just with all us researching how the Slack web client works. We already have the bot set up. So once we figure that out, I think we just be, playing around with it, testing it, so that might take 15 minutes. And then we probably use a rough pipeline at the start, which just has a simple loading data, training a model, and then asking a question. And once we have that question answered, the next step we will add is the model deployment. So the question that we will be asking on track will be, hey, this is the accuracy of the model. Here was the accuracy of the previous model. Do you want to deploy this new model instead of the old one? And that answer will go to this step, which will then what we call the I believe it's called the deployment trigger. Yeah, deployment trigger. And this deployment trigger will then be based on that. And that's great. And we just have to do the size and
cool. How is it normal, right?
Yeah. Now they hear us. I see it from the rectangle around the frame.
Great. Yeah, amazing, guys. Thank you so much. I would propose that you just start already and we stick with you a little bit, and then we jump over to our next 3 rooms again. So we completed now the loop, but feel free to start and kick it off.
Okay. You want to over here? So, I can guide it first. So you can be the coder, I can be the pair. So the first thing you have to do is you have to register a pair. I'm very happy by it for you. On there, I'm going to
coming from here,
here, and
then goes to
we have to do ZenML.
So again, start over a coffee break.
And it makes sense. It's good practice to always use the new profile so that things can be separated.
Anybody in the room?
For the sake of the user space, do you know which Python you're on and which OS you're on in the ZenML version? No, on macOS.
Let me try.
And one using hard debugging for first in the virtual environment as a setup also. I believe we now have the new set flag, but maybe not in the profile. So, okay, so now we have a new profile, so that means that this profile is separated from all the other work we're doing. So, if you're going to unpack this, that means that we only have to do something, right? Okay, so we have the classical trifecta metadata to our structure architecture. But what we want to add to this is the alerter component. Now, of course, you could do to this. I got an extra arguments. Maybe I'm not reading the docs right, or maybe we have a problem here. Give me a second. Test path, maybe? We have the flavor guy in the calls. Maybe he can help us.
Perfect. Now YouTube should be working perfectly fine. Sorry about all that mess. And yeah, for anyone who's on YouTube,
we can't. Barish, you're still muted.
I know.
We can't hear you on the Hangout.
I know.
So maybe people can hear you on the YouTube though.
You will understand when you listen to the YouTube later.
Yeah, we can sort of hear you from the next room. So.
Yeah, it's fine. All is good. We had a small issue with the sound for YouTube, but we seem to be fixed it.
I know what it is already. The name is wrong, so there is no name argument in this. So you just take out Slack and just first time it. And yeah, I just got the documentation wrong.
But
because the name is actually we already defined.
The headsets. Okay, let's go.
I think here we have a problem.
No, it's double.
Because we do not have, either we don't have Slack installed, or maybe there's already an alerter of that name.
Ready for takeoff? You would have to also join the meetings.
Aha, so there was no Slack in this project. Maybe try to do it again just to see what happens. That's perfect.
Okay, so it got registered. So now if you do a flavor list, I'm really interested what will happen because we sort of used it. Okay, so we have another flavor now, which is exactly the same, but it's not an integration. It's custom. But now, which source will it take? I'm a bit curious.
Let's call it.
Perfect, finally.
Call it test Slack later.
Yeah, perfect. Our YouTube setup is finally working as it should. I know it was working before, but now.
I mean, there's one non-optional argument.
Hamza,
Let's
you
give a
guys
random
can
Slack
hear
token
us.
now.
There's no echo, and I think we're good to go.
Now I can't hear you. Just kidding.
Nice. Oh, you have the noise cancellation, you know.
So now you guys are talking. I can hear you, but we're still muted on the Hangout. And now if you do that,
we're also like chatting between us. So for like
and for the YouTube guests.
Yeah.
But won't they be confused because they hear us and you talking at the same time?
That's a good point. We'll try to be more careful. I mean, I guess we assume since we didn't get distracted, nobody would get distracted. Yeah, but you're right. So please continue. Sorry to interrupt.
No worries. This Slack token, by the way, should be deleted soon as it's now public. But
It's not a real Slack token, right? Or do we have one?
no, it's not real one. And then maybe type rand_str. Okay, and then give it whatever. And now, if the custom one is picked up, Felix, what should happen?
The custom one is picked up. And well, we would expect that afterwards we can, if we expect the attribute of the alerter, it will have this one. So one thing we could do is load it from the repository and just check if it has.
Well, I would expect if it's using the old one, it would fail, right? Because the old one, the one in the integration did not have.
Will it fail if it has additional arguments that are not used?
Yes, it will.
Okay, then we can try.
Let's try it out.
So it successfully registered.
Wow. So I think you should, I need to move the mic closer to you as well. Or well, like maybe I can talk and we can just do it until the YouTube is there. So because the alerter got picked up, just for people who are watching the stream, that means that we overrode the one which was internal. So this is something we never did before. This was first time that we tried to give the same path of a flavor which was in the ZenML package itself. Anyway, that's a slightly nuanced topic, but what I can confirm is that Barish implemented this correctly because it picked up what we expected it to pick up, which is the one that we wanted to register. So perhaps maybe just to make everything clean, Felix, you can delete this alerter that we just created. It's a bit useless. I think it was called test.
So there is also some, like I was mostly on top of this, as you remember. So there we had some discussions. Maybe if I dive into the topics of flavors just a bit, if that's okay with you guys while you guys are implementing it. So like as they mentioned, we have these flavors which give you like different, basically as the name suggests, flavors of stack components. And those have like two different sources, I would say. One are the flavors that come to you with ZenML, and those come either built into ZenML or with some integrations. Or, as we've said, like we're an extensible tool, you can implement your own flavors and register them to ZenML. And this needs to be done in a way, even if in the future, let's say you are working with ZenML 0.8.1 now, and we made the new release, and this time we created a flavor which you created before. Even at that time, it doesn't fail. It just gives you a warning saying, okay, this flavor is now implemented by the ZenML team. You can keep using it, but keep in mind that ZenML already has now a flavor for this when you upgrade it. So there might be some clashes, and there might be some clashes that you would expect but don't happen. So mostly they are due to the reason that we wanted to build everything future-proof. So the custom flavors are yours. ZenML comes to you with some flavors of its own. So keep that in mind.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we're doing. So we just built now a custom one. Perhaps, Felix, we should remove this extra attribute we added. We don't need it.
Which extra attribute? Or
the rand, yeah. And now we are back to this. So what we want to probably first do is register this with, like maybe you can do this off screen actually, maybe with a proper Slack token and a Slack channel ID. So we can be easier.
Before we get to that stuff, we would bid you farewell maybe for a while and go visit the other rooms, see how the other teams are doing.
Okay.
Thank you for the intro. Thank you for telling us the plan, and we'll be back.
Yes. Sounds good. Thank you.
See you there, guys.
So which room do we go to?
I mean, we can keep the same order, I guess. You can go back to the orchestration room. So,
for that, let me quickly get your coffee.
Oh, that would be amazing. I mean, coffee is a big part of our everyday here at ZenML, I would say.
Definitely.
Maybe next time we have a coffee team, we just makes coffee. Oh, nice. Let's say hi.
Currently, no one is familiar with your whole ZenML structure, right? That's something that so when doing the demo, that is more helpful for the people who are.
Agreed. We'll take some time. I get someone running here.
Hey guys, I wanted to say that we are here, but now the other two. Hamza
is already here.
Yeah, Hamza stole our chance to say hi. Like I wanted to say we're here.
It was quicker.
Yeah.
Yes, how's it going? Did you do
Good.
your first round of chatting with each team?
Yes. Should I get you a coffee, Michael?
That would be fantastic.
Okay, amazing. Anyone else in the room? Ayush?
Cool, how's it going?
Yes, not, well, we've done some stuff, I guess. So I can show you the GitHub orchestrator. We wrote some code for it. We registered the flavor after some hiccups. So we have our GitHub action orchestrator flavor registered now. We use it, or it's already in a state where we can generate some YAML files. So this is essentially what we get right now. It writes a workflow file which has the name of the pipeline, runs every time you push something, but the actual running doesn't do all too much, right? It's just echoing some string right now, and the next step would be to replace this by actually running the pipeline, or like running the separate steps. But that will be a little more involved, I guess. So we'll have to figure out how to do that.
Cool.
Is there like any progress for the other teams?
So we've been to
how did the rest go?
team. I mean, for us, it's basically like the rounds that we made in the first round were mostly about introduction, seeing like talking to each team to see what they are working on, what they plan to do, and yeah, that was basically an introduction round. But I think everyone's off to a good start. Let's see how it goes. I'm really excited about this.
Yep. Me too. Now comes the complicated part. But let's see. So I'm not sure if are you gonna stay here? Do you want me to give like a short introduction to the code that we have so far?
I wouldn't want to disturb your flow. Just
but
keep at it, and then like if I have some, if I feel like there must be some clearance about some stuff, I'll let you know.
All right, perfect. So I'll still give you like a really quick thing. So essentially what we do right now is in the one method that we need to implement to run our pipeline, we build a dictionary which will in the end be written to the YAML file. For each of the steps, we create a job with that step's name, run a command here, which that's the thing we're going to implement next, and in the end write the YAML. Last step we did was essentially copying stuff from the Kubeflow orchestrator and replacing some Kubeflows with GitHubs, so that now builds us a Docker image, which we will use to run the steps. I didn't actually try this so far. I mean, the whole Docker image building will take some time, so I wanted to keep going with the implementation next. But essentially, build a Docker image, come here, which thanks, Adam. Free copies just for me.
I see that Adam is right now, by the way, for anyone in the chat. So we are located in Munich. We are all actually in the office, me, Adam, Michael, Felix, and Hamza. It's just me and Adam, we were in the conference room, who now assisting everybody, I think, with some cups of caffeine. So
which is very much appreciated.
Yeah, he's supporting all the teams at the same time.
Exactly. So let me just, not sure where I left off, but essentially it's gonna run the Docker image here with the correct commands. That is the plan that we're gonna tackle next. So I will need to look into the GitHub Actions specification, I think, to find out how to set up Docker. Probably it's already installed, I'm guessing. But that will be the next steps. Maybe something we can even do right now would be to work on these step dependencies. So
just a quick comment from YouTube. It says like the code tab is too small. Can you maybe make it a bit bigger? Like scale up?
The code is too small?
The code tab. I mean, I'm not sure if that means the actual code or the tabs that you have open on top. I think there must be an option to scale up PyCharm altogether, not just the font, but PyCharm altogether. Should be in the settings.
I wish.
If you search for scale, not sure though. Grammar and style. Let me look it up for you, then I will get back to you. You guys go ahead.
I hope we figured out a way to globally increase the font size for PyCharm as well. So if that's the issue, do let me know.
Okay.
I can increase that even further, but so far I think for Ayush it was working fine.
Yep. Cool. I'll let you know. So if it's just the code or the tabs above the code.
Yeah. So I'll probably as a short intro on what we're doing or what I would do now for the guys on YouTube would be that you can specify these dependencies between different jobs in GitHub workflows using this needs keyword. So I think you can either specify just a single step that is like a dependency that needs to run before one, or you can do it with a list, like something like this. And my plan would now be to figure out what are my upstream steps, so what the current step depends on, and pass that to this needs attribute to model our pipeline structure using those workflows. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, our orchestrator actually has something get upstream step names, which is exactly what I wanted. So those are all the names of upstream steps that need to run before a certain step, and I just need to pass in a base step and an intermediate pipeline representation, and both of those we are provided by ZenML in this prepare or run pipeline function. And by the way, if anyone, I'm going a little quickly over this entire orchestrator interface. I think all of those functions are quite nicely documented inside the doc strings here, and tells you exactly when and where to use these functions to sort of support your case. As I was working on that for the last 2 weeks, I'm sort of half familiar at least with them at the moment. So that's how I figured that one out. I'll give this here. And I think we can even just put this in there. And I will run this again to regenerate the YAML file, and let's see what we end up with here. Maybe we don't. I don't have a container registry in my step. That is obviously a good thing. Actually, let me. This entire Docker building, I don't want to do at the moment because that will just take time from our experimentation. So I'll return ahead of that, and let's see what our new pipeline. Yes. So I think that is what we wanted to end up with. So our first step doesn't depend on any other step. Our second step depends on step 1. And we could even, let's do a third step. Which doesn't add 3 but subtracts 3. Or maybe it takes
Michael.
Yes.
If I may interrupt, if you open up the settings on your PyCharm,
yes.
In the first tab you should be able to see a appearance category. The first one.
Yes. Appearance again.
In there you should have the size. If you use a custom font, I mean, if you got
font size, no.
No, that's the presentation mode. That's something else. So, but make sure that. Okay. I hope it doesn't mess. But this might be too big. I would maybe try 16 or so. That should scale everything up. See?
It's big, but well, the terminal is still small.
Yeah, I
But
hope it's
apart
also
from
for the
that,
YouTube stream. So the
Nice.
tabs were a bit
Thank you
hard
very
to
much.
read. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right, let me close all of them. And I was just adding to our test pipeline a third step, so we can.
I mean, for both everyone here and like everybody on the YouTube channel, if you guys have any questions at any time, could be like related to the topic that we are talking about, could be related to ZenML in general, just let us know.
Let me rerun my pipeline and let's see if we now model those additional dependencies as well. Yes, so now step 2 depends on the first one, and our last step depends on step 1 and 2, which is essentially what we modeled here in our pipeline. So step 1 just has no inputs. Step 2 takes as input something from the first step, and step 3 takes as input something from the first and second step.
Beautiful.
And this one should work, I think. So one more thing that we don't have to think about anymore, and that really leaves us with the next step, I think, to run this Docker image. Now I will quickly Google on if there is such a thing. I mean, there must be something to run a Docker container in a GitHub action. We just need to figure out the way how to do it.
So for everyone on the YouTube stream, we seem to be experiencing a smooth streaming quality issue on YouTube. I'm trying to fix it at the moment. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up. So maybe while you're looking into it, how about we talk about the last 12 weeks, Ayush? What do you think?
Can you come again?
Yeah. While Michael, I think, is a bit deep in the code at the moment, so we can use this chance to chat about the last 12 weeks, what you thought about it, like how are you feeling generally after a long stretch of hard work. We are finally here. If you have a few thoughts to share, that would be great.
Sure. Basically, I'll be very honest. From the past weeks, I was like, the launch was coming from when I heard that we had a launch on 16, then it gone 18, then it gone. Yeah. So finally, we got today on 25, where I saw sleepless nights because most of the people over here, they were working most of the night and getting things work. And even I was like, it's spending some hours and going to Michael and Stephen, both have them life helpers for me at the same time, because I can just go to anyone and then get an instant answer from them. So I think, yeah, so super helpful team as well. And from all of these things, I thought, I was knowing that we'll be having a great launch, and here we go. We were even expecting the worst case, where we are expecting that we'll see the 0 members, but you can see the number of members which we have in every room, and we have also thought of, we were ready for worst scenario as well, for the best scenario, as like, wow, that's the thing. And I personally think where we are is because of the hard work of the team members, which we distributed up, and I personally think it would have not possible with the whole team come together and make sure that everything is aligned and everyone is involved in business side, tech side, and all of these things, taking care of all of these things. And we focus on perfection, and that's what I like, because when I entered in ZenML, I was not perfectionist, because I was like, let's write the code and that's done. But basically at ZenML, I learned the art of perfection, like how things get perfect. Still, it's not perfect. Keep on working on that. So I personally think that from 3 months where I was, like when I entered in this ZenML, I think we got Zen Retreat.
Oh yeah,
And
actually, that lined up around that time, right?
yeah, correct.
That's crazy.
So we end up with Zen Retreat, and I was like not understanding too much. I was trying to understand, but this time I was like getting the lot of things, what's exactly going on over the 12 weeks. And I think it's gone amazing stuff till now.
Nice. Happy to hear the excitement. I mean, it's absolutely the same for me. This has been a crazy blast, I think, in the last few months. And to be honest, I've been excited in the retreat. We had a direction, but I'm even now more excited because I think what we did in this retreat paves the path to many other things, and I can already see some of them, and sometimes they even come as surprises. That's also always nice. And one maybe important thing to keep in mind there is to do this openly with the community. So with all the contributions and so on, the journey itself is so great to be, because I think if you want to solve a problem as complicated as MLOps and you want to solve it for everyone by providing some standardizations, base abstractions and so on, you have to have a connection to the community, right? That's also why we appreciate it so much to be here, to be talking to all of you, because we want to solve this for everyone, basically. So just wanted to underline that as well. It's much appreciated, as you said. It's great to be here. Perfect. How are we looking on the... I also didn't want to distract you too much.
All good. Give me just 1 second. So what I just did here is I Googled tried Googling a few things, how to run Docker container inside a GitHub action, and I ended up with this Docker login stuff. So essentially you use a predefined Docker GitHub action, which is probably something official, but at least it seems well supported. You give it a registry that it logs into in the username and password. We'll have to figure out how to get those later. And the next one, so essentially I had to split up my job into two different steps. The first one logs into Docker, and the second one then does a Docker run something. And those two steps are added to my job, and I would just try running this at the moment and seeing the result. Which, okay, we're already getting some errors here.
Cool, but it feels like you're closing in on the solution. I think before you get there, it might make sense for us to make another round.
Absolutely, I think you'll be well in time before anything super exciting happens.
Cool.
Seems like it's going to be some debugging next.
Nice.
Have fun.
Yeah. It's just perfect time today. It's all good. It's all good. So hoping to see you guys soon. So with that, we can switch to the deployment team, perhaps.
Absolutely.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Can you also put the links on YouTube again? So it's been a while since we pushed the links on YouTube. So for anyone who is on YouTube right now, we'll post the links again if you want to join the separate rooms. So. Let's go. Go to the deployment channel. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
How's it going, guys?
We are just about to make our first attempt at running a ZenML service that interacts with Kserve and creates a model deployment.
Whoa, we arrived just in the right time, I guess.
I don't know, we'll see.
Looking really exciting.
Don't get your hopes up. The first tries never work.
Yeah, I mean, being in the space, the first attempts are always scary, I know. Just hoping for the best.
We're setting predictor here, but we haven't implemented anything that uses it. Alright, so what happens now is this is all from the ZenML wiring, internal wiring. When you do start, the provisioning will be triggered. Now what I don't know, we need a timeout value. It will probably take some time, seconds to run this. What I don't know is if this will work with just, what is this thing here? This will work without us implementing also the operational part. So we did provision, but we didn't do anything around check status. And I have some, let me see. I have my doubts that this will work without us doing the operational part, because ZenML will try to determine if the service is running. So either it will create a Kserve instance or it will not. Let's see. We cannot. No wonder I can't use VS Code to resolve these. What's going on? I'm definitely not using this correctly. So what can I import from here? Ah, I see what's happening. Oh, we did a rookie mistake. Wow, what a rookie mistake we did. Let's rename this. Let's say Kserve deployment. It's okay. Finally, all right, perfect. Mystery solved. Kserve deployment. Do we mess anything up? No, doesn't look so.
Cool. So while you look into that, maybe let me ask Safwan a few questions if you're free if you're not currently looking into something. I just had a similar talk with Ayush as well. Just wanted to ask you about the last 12 weeks, about like the sprint that we had. Like if you wanted to share a few thoughts about what you thought about it, it would be great to hear.
Yeah, like, well, I wasn't here from the start of the 12 weeks. I joined in the middle almost. And like, don't be surprised, it was no different at all. Like, there is no different. Starting from the day one where everything was just planned for the MVP, or starting from the middle, I feel like literally no difference. After 1 week, everyone was welcoming and explaining every question I ask, and that's how I get like started. In less than 1 week, I start coding in the secrets with Alex and Alexei, and that actually felt amazing. What surprised me the most is like I have like some experience with the secrets and the deployment as the main features that I have been working with, and like just the amount of abstraction and like make it easier for the users to use these tools are just amazing. And like this vision that we need this framework to be like sort of a centralized, simplified way, like to integrate other tools and just like make it, how I'm gonna call it, like, let's build production-ready pipelines.
Nice, nice. That's the way to set it up perfectly. And yeah, I mean, I think we had this discussion before. It feels like you've been with us like for months and months on end. Sometimes it gets crazy. I mean, personally, to me, just to see how this team grew. Everybody feels like they've been with the guys for such a long time. That is crazy, and that's an amazing team to have, to be honest. And I can only say that I agree with all the things that you said, and happy to see that you are so pumped up about it as well. So always happy to see that.
Thank you.
So, how's it going with the implementation? Sorry that I took the mic away from you a bit. Just wanted to ask a few questions and maybe give you a bit of space to fully focus on the code as well.
Used it wisely. Let's see. Still in the status. Good. Okay, so order deployment. We're still not there yet. I come back in 15 minutes.
Then I think that again gives us a good window to complete one round and then come back to you guys when things are getting interesting. So with that, I think we can go to our next room and have fun. Let us know if anything big happens, so we'll jump right back at your room.
All right. See you soon.
Perfect. See you guys. So, let me meet here.
Clients.
Leave. So the don't tell stage, which is the secrets.
Great. How do you like it so far, Barış?
Going good. Going way more packed than I was expecting, which is always a good thing. We are seeing a lot of things, talking about a lot of things, and good to have the community here.
So I can see the live stream. Here is
so.
Okay, so we already decided.
Oh, people are also. Yeah, perfect. For now, let's switch to the secret scene.
I mean, we already know it's not going to be a project ID. Hi, guys.
Hello, hello.
Nice to have you. After running into some issues with Azure login on my side and some other authentication issues, we've switched and Alex is doing the implementation, and we're at the very beginning of it. So we've copy-pasted the GCP secret manager and are now trying to throw out everything that is related to GCP and replacing it with Azure, and seeing how quickly we can iterate on that.
Nice, at the right moment.
Yeah, exactly. And with that, I mean, in every room, I also try to give the person who's coding a bit of a breather by asking the person who's not currently sharing the screen what they thought about the last push that we had and the point that we got to now with the latest release and the launch. Wanted to hear what you thought about it. What was your the thing that you most excited you, the thing that you're happy that we have now, and what are you looking forward to?
All right. I mean, we've been talking about the Vertex AI orchestrator with Lucas in the call before you joined, and I think that's also the most exciting part about what we've been working on. So part of our philosophy is that everything in ZenML should be extensible to the highest extent that we can make it to be so, and I think that's something we achieved in the last weeks of work, where we've made it really extensible to the point that we finished up some of our docs on Friday, and one of our community contributors read the docs on Friday and was able to implement his own Vertex AI orchestrator over the weekend and have a pull request back in set up by yesterday. So that's currently in the process, but it's just really exciting to see how easy it is to extend stack components and to basically use ZenML to fit your exact needs instead of listening to what GCP or AWS tells you need.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it goes in the right direction if developers can decide what they need.
Absolutely.
Nice. Guys, did we interrupt you with Lucas? Lucas, who are you? Would you quickly say hello? That would be super interesting.
Hi, I'm Lucas, and I'm currently a student at university studying data science, and I'm got introduced to ZenML through my company that I work for, so I'm just trying to learn more.
Nice. Welcome, cool.
Amazing.
And in general, this whole concept of streaming while we work and kind of go through everything is pretty cool, because while you explain stuff, it also becomes clear what you have to do for specific things, I feel.
And Murphy's Law is kicking in.
Absolutely.
And I mean, for us, it's even a more different take, I would say. Since we switch from room to room, we get to see all the stuff which are happening in really short amounts of time. But it's always good to see everything happening all at once.
Who's winning?
I mean,
what's going on there?
What are the KPIs?
I mean, we already saw that the alerter team or the chat ops team wrote a message to Slack, so we feel like pressure coming from that side.
Yeah. You want to jeopardize them?
I can bother them if you delete the bot from either Slack or Discord, whatever they're using.
No.
So.
we just switch off the power over there.
Ah, yeah. Easy solution. Just say the word.
Unplug the PCs.
Yeah.
You missed the bracket there, Alex.
Alex is always on top of it. See what he saw.
Having
195
code.
195. In that state, how did you see that?
Eyes of a hawk. But yeah, we're gonna get to the interesting bit once all the logic is commented out, I guess, because then we can start registering our new stack component. Or first we have to register our flavor.
Okay. I mean, this has been a bit of a pattern. I think in the first rounds, what we made was the introductions. So, and then in the second round, everybody was getting into it, and everybody said, in the next round, we might have something interesting. If you would have said that as well, that would have been a funny pattern. But I think with this, you guys are a bit ahead.
I think so, but we need to, exactly find out. You have it ingrained already? How to register flavors? For me, this is not an automatism yet.
I'm looking at the documentation in another window.
I was wondering, this command is so new.
So
is this right?
Paste. No, that's wrong. You have to write the name of the class, basically the module path. So from the directory that you're in, you say ZenML secrets manager flavor register, then give it the path, but at the end add dot Azure secrets manager. So if you are in, you are in the MLOps day, so you just say Azure _ secrets _ manager dot Azure secrets manager. Exactly, that's the module path. And it's going to pick up that it's a secrets manager implemented within this file. You don't have to type anything else.
Even though I don't have any init.py or anything here.
But that might... No, it's not a problem. Wait, init might be a problem. I don't know if the importing would fail if you don't have the init. But it should work. But I'm wondering why it's taking so long, to be honest.
Let's see.
Did you define a flavor, by the way? ZenML cannot import the source of the given module. Could be the init, yeah.
I think we're not here to solve problems, but leave as soon as problems occur.
Oh, okay, guys. No, I'm not the. I cannot leave here, as this was one of the things that I mainly worked on. So.
Yeah, I mean, this is Barish's baby.
So the
registering of flavors.
Can you perhaps do one thing for me? I mean, this has been a pattern which we wanted to fix. Can you open up a Python console or something? Oh, you didn't define... no. You are using the GCP secrets manager flavor. That might be wrong from the get-go. Because you are trying to use two flavors which are the same, right? I mean, the class says Azure, flavor says GCP. That's why I'm saying... Like, maybe give it... Yeah, that would even work.
Not AWS. No.
No, the class said Azure, the constant said GCP. So now, can you do me a favor? Can you go to your Python? Now, from ZenML.utils.sourceutils, import load source path module, something like that. No, with underscores. It's a function.
A snake case.
It's written there, line 500, load source path class. See?
Yes.
Now, try to use the same string and give this function the same string that you wrote to the CLI. Exactly that, yes.
Well, I'm guessing we're going to get the same error.
But that's a try except, right? Now you know why it failed. You don't get the actual error if you do this. See?
We should probably re-raise the error, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's been a common pattern that we wanted to fix. I mean, you wouldn't believe, I think it was yesterday, Michael was talking about the orchestrator actually. Gabriel was having a problem. And he said to me, okay, this is not working, do you know why? And after a while I figured out we can check it like this. Not 5 minutes later, Hamza was saying, hey Barish, I cannot register a flavor. Do you know why this could be? I mean, the weird thing is this is happening due to the code, right? If it's the integrations, you can assume that the released integrations by ZenML always have the right code. But when you're working on an integration yourself, as you are doing right now, these errors should be also apparent to you. That's why we need to raise the error again. You're absolutely right.
Just
see, that's the line.
Yeah.
So that was the culprit.
Yesterday, the one for the Vertex orchestrator was in the flavor wrapper when it does the to flavor. It also loads the module, and then you can have imports that could fail.
Nice. Oops. Again. You imported it too, though, right? Because the import succeeded. Can you go to the Python again? Because it basically does the same. Import first, and then... Exactly.
That worked. Okay.
But see the line 500 tries to load source path class, and you go into the accept. How could that be? This is, I think, as simple as a try accept gets. So, just a function.
Yeah, no idea.
Interesting.
I have the slight feeling you're biased. Because we need to return to the others. 15 minutes.
Yeah. It's not like I'm escaping from my own bug. I mean,
we'll figure it out.
Maybe as a last point, like this is as simple as it gets, right? It tries to execute the line that you execute in Python, load source path class with the source that you give it to. And then if it has a value error attribute or an import error, which in this case is probably an import error, it just fails. But I mean, you succeed in Python, but you fail on the CLI. I don't know. I'll keep it in mind. Sorry about that. I think we have to switch, but yeah.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
We'll see you when we've solved it.
Thank you for saving me. Thank you for saving me. Perfect. I wasn't expecting to see that error there. So, with that we go to the ChatOps room.
So we need to go back to Michael and Ayush.
Do they have something?
Let's say hello to the ChatOps guy. Guys.
Let's see. Oh, hosts are back.
The hosts are back.
Just a couple of alerters here to send you a message.
Oh my god. We're at that point of the stream.
No, just wanted to break the ice with a small pun.
You're just in time, but we have to update a sensitive token here first. So maybe we can do that also.
We can leave. You guys can tell us when to come back.
That's a good idea. Michael is waiting.
Ah, okay. Sorry, guys.
Bye.
Come back after Michael.
All right.
No, you don't need this one.
Sensitive stuff.
Getting exciting.
So we go back to this one. Really exciting stuff. Did I?
Yes.
Correct one. Nice. Hello.
Hello.
How is it going?
Yeah, not too much progress, I think, since you were last here.
Okay.
We
took
a look at the little entry point stuff, so we figured that out. I think we figured out the Docker login, and now we just need to set up some GitHub repository on which we can actually test this. So right now this is untested. It's generating us something, but it's not actually running anything, right? So that would be the next step, I think.
Okay.
I'm just taking a quick look. But for that one, now we probably get into building some Docker images, which will take quite some time. And I will also need to set up a GitHub repository in which we can test this. So I think if you come back in like half an hour, I'm not sure how that would be for you, we might have something to show then.
Nice. That's really exciting to hear. And to be honest, we've been talking to like all of the teams, and it seems like we're gonna get some great things.
How are the others doing?
And you are leading for sure.
Curious.
Yeah, you are leading. That's what we tell everybody.
Everyone is asking, who's winning?
Who's winning?
So
I imagine the alerters, right? I mean, I didn't get not too many Discord or Slack notifications, but I imagine that they must have something running by now, or at least close to it.
I think they were at the last steps where they had to like give in the tokens and so on to send the messages. So we shortly visited their room as well, but in order to not expose any of the tokens and so on, we left, came here, and yeah, I think they're quite close. Like the secrets manager team was also doing fine. And same with the model deploy. I think overall everything is looking good.
Like how far is the model deploy? That one is actually the one I'm most curious about, because that seems at least initially to me almost impossible to do in one day. Not sure how far they are at the moment.
But it's Stefan and Safwan we're talking about, so yeah,
that's true.
Crazy. I mean, it's been a while since we visited their room, so I'm not sure about their current state. But we'll check. I can let you know in about 30 minutes. Then.
That would be perfect. Let's have it like roughly 30.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm
tell you to come back in an hour.
16:38.
Because
to the point.
Stefan is also not ready, but I get some Slack messages from the bot. Should we check out what's happening there?
Let's see. Then we go back.
Bye, guys.
So,
bye.
See you guys. So we go back to the chat-ops. Let's see, turn to home screen. I think there's a little bit of a delay.
Are we not even sharing your screen?
Oh yeah, now I can share again, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing from Adam that you guys are sending some messages. Are those manual messages or something else?
Bot LGTM?
We are trying our best to listen to LGTM message. So maybe we keep now there's a real-time messaging Slack API client setup, and what we're doing is we're sending a message to it. We're asking, hey, does this look good to you? And if you look LGTM, if you write LGTM in the channel, theoretically, this asynchronous call handles the event. So let's see. Now we just ran it. It's waiting for the response. The pipeline is ready.
Again.
Did you write the LGTM to the bot, and he understands that you meant, okay, it looks good to me?
But this time apparently, good demo. The first time it worked now. So it printed now some user approved
on Slack.
Approved on Slack the action that we're doing. Just what we haven't figured out is now how we stop the client and return this. But we were able to read the LGTM message at least. And also, I mean, another thing we can try is if we type something else. And now hopefully it should not approve it.
Hi there, it's popping up at me.
Yeah, they can't see it in the stream, but
So
basically we just typed some random stuff on the Slack channel and it didn't go through because of the if condition. The only thing we're wondering now is how to stop this client. I guess we need to check what RTM client in the client gives us. The
RTM client.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we should just Google stop.
Let's Google how to stop RTM client in the online.
Hey, by the way, every team is asking about you. We get a lot of questions about who's ahead, and everybody has their eyes on you.
Let's see if we can do it.
And the indicator is that you're not saying something in our chats.
Yeah,
it's fully focused.
Yeah,
makes sense.
They're expecting the chats to go crazy with the alerts.
But I think we're almost close because we see a solution on Stack Overflow. It's like, yes, I think so. So I think what you need to do is
this one, right? No, there's still just the stop.
No, I think this is the answer. You have to use async IO. And the way you do that is you run a synchronous loop and an asynchronous loop. And the synchronous loop is infinite looping with a 5-second sleep. And what you do with the main is you essentially kick off the asynchronous loop and start it.
Okay, yeah, some asynchronous loop.
Should you also stream that?
Yeah, we don't get the
We're
message.
still in one tab.
We just see the editor. Just so you know.
Yeah, we don't show you guys the Googling, which is probably bad.
That's fine. That's fine. Just comment it.
How to print in Python.
So what we want to do is something like this. So to stop the client once we reach this point. But we haven't really found a way to do that yet because this, like the RTM client will keep running on an infinite loop and apparently it cannot stop itself in the message. So we're trying to figure that out.
Okay. What does that on function do if you check the decorator itself?
This one says when there is a message posted in the Slack channel, then this it will listen to the corresponding event. So
it's like a Streamlit listener, Paresh.
Let's see. Now I am the pro at it, you know.
Yeah.
After spending exactly 8 hours on it.
I'm just wondering, can't we just raise an exception?
that we can do, yeah, that should work, right? We raise an exception and then we catch it, and then it's
but
it ends.
Let's see.
Should we try it?
Let's just raise an exception. But you also returned,
Piece
so I
of my
think it's
mind
the
is
same.
still with Alexei and Alex.
You just have to explain it to Felix and Hamza now.
We can.
Now you took out, by the way, the important line of people.
So, a quick question then. How does it look for you guys?
Well, I think making progress on that one, but we still have other ideas to implement and wanted to write some.
Cool. With that in mind then, would it be alright if we take a quick leave? To be fully transparent, Alex and Alexei were having some problems with registering some flavors, which, as you know, was an area that I was interested in. And
we will let you know when we have something cooler to show.
Yeah. So with that in mind, it would be nice if we can take a look there. That would also would give me a relief to see if it worked. But definitely let us know so we can jump back in your room.
See you then. Thank you.
See you guys.
I think it's just raising.
So we are completely out of order now.
Yes.
Not reach right. There you go. Where's the go back? Cast this meeting.
Labels are the tags?
Yeah, labels are the tags that are going to be on the secret. So maybe if you just comment out the whole request and set secret name, secret value, just like...
I just had to come back to see whether it worked.
It worked.
What was the issue?
We moved it, or Alex moved it into a directory and then loaded it from there.
And then we also needed to be register Azure secrets manager Azure secrets manager Azure secrets manager.
Might not be the.
We could have reduced one of them by importing it in the init inside, I guess.
Yeah, that's completely fine. It's interesting why it doesn't do that though. Automatically, like why you had to move it. But we can look into it. We can take it as a...
Might have something to do with how it sets the current path as a Python path or not. Because it does some syspath stuff, the load source path utils, whatever that function is called.
Amazing. I told it to Hamza and Felix as well. Just also Adam, like, I had to come see it working. Would be a great relief. So yeah. Happy to see this.
But Lucas, can you tell us whether they hard-coded something or cheated?
No cheating involved.
No cheating,
okay. Okay, great.
It's secret. It's V, right? V is the value.
Where do we get V from? Oh, here. Okay.
Yeah. Basically, we already prepend the group name to the secret itself, and then we just iterate through it. We should do that. We should do that, because that will allow us to kind of keep the ZenML concept of what a secret is in even without tags.
What's this?
Yes, it's that one. That one is also not Google specific. Yeah, I think this should work. The add secret version, we can probably... Yeah, let's ignore that. Let's throw that one out. We don't care about versions for now, I would say. I think that's a concept that we will have to look at in the future again to see if we offer some abstraction for that. Yeah, and it's not an empty secret. It's a created secret, I think, in the logger. Because in Google, what they do is you set the secret without a value, and then you add the value in a second step. It doesn't seem like Azure is doing that. And I think we can just take this for a test drive and show the world if it works or not with everyone watching. We're not setting a secret here. Maybe just use a CLI to do ZenML secret register.
Oh.
You can do even directly. Want to show off our amazing help string? Just do -v and then -k and a key and first the name. So the secret name, Barish. And then -k, Adam.
Sorry.
And then the value can be Aria.
Nice.
Okay, we have a secret called Barish with a key to value pair, Adam Aria.
It should be, yeah. Probably for the key as well, right? Yeah.
Oh, is this the thing where you forced everyone
It's
to do...
dash dash. No, dash dash K dash dash V.
Oh,
that looks good.
Yep.
Wait. Keyboard
It has
name.
no attribute keyword name. What doesn't? Wait. It's up on top where we do ensure client. For some reason,
Line
I think
64.
I've had that problem before. The class somehow doesn't have. What you could do is you set the keyword, you pass the keyword name to ensure client connected as an argument, and then so in line 73 you do self.keyword name. So the instance has access to it, but the class somehow doesn't, I think.
Even though things are looking promising here, I think it might be time for us to switch a bit.
You might see this work now, or not.
Okay,
Let's wait for
it.
I will ask the others already here.
Like it's been a while since we joined Stefan and Sapan. Even Michael was asking, like, how is it going with the model deployment? It's really curious now.
All right, it seems like we haven't struck gold yet.
yeah. It's okay. Every time you leave Barish, it starts working again. So.
See ya.
Bye.
Ciao.
Okay, so what's happening?
So if all it takes for them to succeed is me leaving, I'll leave with a smile on my face.
Okay, Stefan is expecting us.
All right.
I pre-warned him.
On PC could be the highest load that it had so far.
Yes, 2 cameras.
So many things.
Service name is available. Good.
Hello once again.
Hello.
We've been getting some questions about how the model deployment is going from other teams. So what should I tell them?
Well, so we were able to successfully deploy a K-serve inference service. When we do, let me show it actually. So we do this, right? We have a configuration here pointing to some public model, and we did service start. We got a deployment. We got a K-serve inference service deployed in our Kubernetes cluster. But what we don't have yet is the other side of this coin, where we detect its status. And that's what we're kind of in the middle of implementing now. When this is done, and it really looks like it's almost done. Not here, I'm sorry, I keep going back to K-serve, to Southern Core. So if this is done, then we should be able to run the whole example again and maybe try some more things like stopping it. With this in place, we're one step closer to completing half of the implementation.
Nice.
So the service component.
Nice.
I really hope we get, I don't know, let's say if we do this in half an hour, then we still have one hour to try to do at least a couple of the model deployers methods, maybe list, so we can list all of the deploy and list.
Like, don't get me wrong, I just giggled because like half an hour seems like it's just the exact time that each team needs right now. So really excited to see what's about to come.
How's everyone else doing?
All good. I mean,
you might see the Slack messages.
Yeah, you might see some Slack messages spamming one of the channels saying looks good to me, looks good to me. Secrets guys were on the verge of using the CLI to register some of the stacks, so the Azure Secrets Manager, which was also going good. In terms of the orchestrations, they were also closing in on the first trials, I would say, but not fully there yet. So it's like every team more or less said like we need just about like half an hour or so. Let's see. It might make sense to gather everyone in one room as when everybody's done, to have like a sync session where everybody can tell the others what they did.
Do you think we will have a sync session for like everyone will be synced in the end really?
Yeah.
Some people might take longer. Whatever. But yes,
Just
it's a good idea.
Short.
I think it's
2 minute, 2 minute sync. Everybody. Otherwise
like
we stop them. I mute them on.
When you say pull the plug, we pull the plug.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Cool. Anything that on your mind which you want to share?
Well, I have one thought that it's kind of taking shape in my mind. It's because we have the SDK from Kserve. It's going a lot faster than I anticipated. So there are all these objects already populated, and I can just call methods on them, know what they're composed of, and so on. So it's definitely going faster than I thought. I would have imagined we would not be able to even deploy a single service by the end of this exercise. But it looks like we'll be making it in 30 minutes or less.
Nice.
Cool. And maybe we can ask somebody from the audience, Bartek, how did you enjoy it so far? And who are you? Hello. Muted.
Sorry, yeah, just 1 second,
No problem. Sorry, I put you on the spot.
So yes, okay, now I can talk.
Great.
Now I can talk. Yeah, I am enjoying. It's really cool how all of these things are being put together and how fast. So yeah, it's yeah. So far I'm enjoying it a lot.
They did not cheat when we were back when we were not in the room. No hard coding.
No.
Okay, great.
No.
Cool. Glad that you enjoyed it. Very welcome. Hello.
Thanks.
I just, by the way, just to be fully transparent, I just giggled because like the alerter guys were working on the chatbot, and like Felix kept writing to the channel, looks good to me, but they were having some issues with like stopping the service. At the very end, he just said stop instead of looks good to me. That might have been a frustration message. I don't know. Cool. Should we switch to a different room?
I think the half an hour is over for Michael, right?
Yeah, almost. I would say we can sync and see how they're doing with the GitHub Actions orchestrator. So have fun, guys, and see you in half an hour then.
Certainly. See ya.
See ya. By the way, would it be alright if I give this one to you?
Join the meeting?
I will join it.
Yes.
Give this to you. Maybe. You can also talk there, right?
No, but I hear myself then. So.
It's warm. Quick.
Is like half an hour already done?
Yes, half an hour is done.
I can't believe it. There's
but no problem, no stress.
Show.
We have a little technical break anyhow here with Barish, so
okay, perfect.
I would love to follow your screen and say nothing.
Yeah, you can see us trying to figure out how to give access for the GitHub action to pull from the GitHub container registry. And I do remember that when we once ran tests on that, it was it took us a while on how to do it. So I will try to rerun now. We did some changes.
Okay. Then let's say hello to the guests in the room. Hamza, hi. Nice to meet you. How did you enjoy it so far?
I think the guests so far have been very quiet.
Yeah, correct. I asked them several times, how are you doing?
So, okay. And Minoi as well?
I'm sorry, I have problems with the mic.
Okay, cool. Then Hamza, I would read out how did you enjoy it so far? It would be amazing if you write it in the chat, or what was your biggest learning? Great. Glad that you like it.
Let's hope we can get at least one run in quite soon. That would be amazing. But actually, just for you, Adam, I'll try to just make the entire thing public, which might get us some run already.
Okay.
Because I don't know.
Danger zone.
How's going with other teams?
Sorry, Ayush?
How's going with other teams? Like Adam is roaming here and there, so how's going?
Yes, everyone is asking how it is for the other teams, so that's really funny. The funny thing is, every team right now needs around about 30 minutes to get to a point where it's interesting again. So we are jumping between the chairs right now. But if you see in our internal Slack channel, the chatbot team is generating some messages. So yeah, they're gonna be done soon, I think. And the others are also on a good path. So really happy how it developed so far.
I'm learning a lot in this.
Nice.
However, it's just kind of a little bit hard to follow Michael. But yeah, I'm getting an overview of how things are going on.
Nice.
It's very interesting to look at the inner working of ZenML and the code of that.
Great. Glad that you're enjoying it, Ayush.
There he is, right when we need him.
That's all you need to do.
Do you still remember what we need to do to access the packages inside?
Yes.
Yes. So I can show you something that I did. I even made it public and it's still not possible.
So you have to go to
here, right?
package settings, yes. You have this.
I need to add this here. So slow.
I think it's fine.
And this one probably not, right? Code space. Oh, it just needs to read.
Okay.
Because I made it public here, but that didn't have.
Yeah,
and I gave it
saw it
inherit
ran
access. Yeah.
Because
Let's try it again, and maybe Hamza was all we needed to get the first step running.
But it, like you did it already, right?
Yeah, but now it's like with the entire new orchestrators and stuff. So.
No, I mean you already get permissions, right? No.
No. Like that's the first run with the change you just.
And this is using the wrong metadata store?
Yes.
So you need to switch to some Cloud SQL.
Yeah, even that, but I think like not sure if we actually need to do that. Like that's just configuration. I would instead try to
copy.
Still denied.
Maybe go to your packages. No, go to settings now. Settings. Go down to get these actions. General. And I think we try to maybe runners? No, that's not it. Okay, we'll go to your repositories again.
On packages or?
Packages, sorry.
Must be a better way to do this.
It's very convoluted.
Yeah.
But why don't you use like a public Docker image or something?
Well, I need to push it also somewhere.
So maybe you already did package settings, right?
Yeah, I think that seems like the place. I mean, I can give it write access, I guess.
Yeah, give it confirmed.
Yeah.
Give it write access.
Go. You want to try it again? Just give it everything.
Even the code spaces, and that's probably not necessary.
Yeah. Who knows?
Just around learn, I think.
Public shouldn't do anything, right? I just leave it like that.
Maybe there was one more place which I remember. Maybe in your main, just go to your packages.
Packages.
And here, click on this one. That takes you back to it.
Yeah.
Internet.
It's just up here, right? It's not that slow for you.
And it's even given. Maybe here in the settings.
We're already in the repo now, right?
Go down. There was one more. Do you remember? There was one more thing which was so undiscoverable. Maybe a use here. No, it's not using a token. I think it's. There must be something.
No, but it might actually be. Okay, no, I didn't configure any secrets. Because we're using this GitHub actor and the token, but I think those by default, like, that's the permissions we just changed, right? That it has write access to that.
Try maybe running it through like another action rather than rerunning an action.
You can do that. That's the YAML file.
For what? There's actually for the pipeline.
Let me just call it differently. Yes, this is my pipeline too.
Down there. So it pushes itself?
It disabled the pushing for now, but it commits itself. Ah, okay. Building. At least that one is quick.
Building is fast, pushing is slow.
See, it's
oh wow, that's not so bad. Maybe
this one should trigger a new one. Maybe that one. Ah, no, it's actually running too because our old one is running as well.
Yeah, because you didn't delete the.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. I think it might fail again. I mean, this it seems like we didn't change anything.
Yeah.
I remember. I don't know. Maybe it was here. I must have go back. You click on the either this or the little wheel. The wheel, no, below. Insert logs next to it.
Ah.
Okay. How can you and I both not remember it?
Really, it's just.
Maybe security? At the top, there is a tab at the top.
Ah, yeah.
That's right.
I mean, it has to be.
It's boring here to not have a simple. Why can't they have a simple?
That's exactly what we're using.
Managed
Actions access. That's new. It's on the package, right?
Was it on the package or repository?
So Michael, we can't really hear Barish, Hamza, because of your headphones. Maybe just switch off your headphones quickly.
Hold on, I can do that.
Test, hallo. Hi Hamza. Test, hallo Hamza.
Yo, test.
Perfect. Great. Now we can hear you as well. That's great. Or better. We could hear you, but it was always cutting out because of your noise cancelling.
So like maybe go to the actions. Access. No, it's actions access.
But it must be inside the settings, right?
Wow.
But we have that already.
Is that the right repository?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's work for publishers. Yeah, that we all did do, right?
We click on authentic.
What do you mean?
Can you go back to the thing? I think we might just click around a bit more if you go to the thing, yeah. The first tab. Is there anything here? Like settings?
I think that's just the repo settings.
Why does it link to the repo immediately?
Because we connected the package already to the repo.
Can you try to add a repository at the top?
And that one it already has, right?
Sorry?
That's the
I don't understand this.
Is this wrong?
Yeah, maybe you should take out
Should
this.
I click this somehow?
Just unclick it.
Unclick it?
Yeah, not right. Save mail.
I mean, I can't even save anything here.
Or you can go to this click. No, just here click. Ah.
No, that's not really right.
Okay, well, can you go back now and just untake that, because that might have been causing some permission issues.
Untake this. I really don't get it. Why it's public? Like, why can't it read from it?
Not right. Not right, because now it's not really, inheriting from anything.
Yeah. It takes 5 hours to rerun it every time. The worst thing is, like, after all this, we still don't remember what it actually was to get it running, so we can't even write any, like, reasonable documentation.
Oh, so bad. Okay, good.
Oh.
What I can try in the meantime, I will just skip the login.
Just skip it?
Because I think it fails with the login, but it would actually be able to run it because it doesn't need to log in to pull it. That's we overwrite.
How does it get transferred to the orchestrator team?
How's the alerted team going?
I think we have some things to show there.
We have some test accuracies coming up.
Sounds good.
Delete.
Oh, still not the perfect.
Oh, it's using the wrong Chrome here.
Now two will again two.
No, I deleted the other one.
That's alright.
Looking good.
We've been at this place for quite some time now.
But not so long.
Doesn't change the fact that it looks good.
That's a long 7-8 seconds.
Can you click on it? See the box?
Then it's no surprise anymore.
Ah.
But that looks good. Now it's pulling something. Like,
Yeah.
But the solution wasn't like we didn't manage to log in, but we just.
Okay, so something else failed.
Now it failed, but actual encoding territory. So I gave it some wrong arguments apparently.
Actually, it even tells you what you did not give, right?
Yeah, all of them.
What's the schedule?
But
you haven't given them anything?
I think I have given them all they need.
Let me see the YAML file.
Docker run Python-m step entry point.
We say hi maybe to the secrets manager guys. Yeah, sure. Guys, if it's
Would you
okay,
excuse us?
Yeah.
Sure.
We would love to see what Alex and Alexei is working on.
That's it. Base 64 got it.
Yeah, but this worked with JSON before, right? No, it didn't.
It didn't work.
It didn't.
I'll just simply leave. So let's go.
I need to recharge my computer quickly, and I just can hear with my computer because my headphones are not connected to your system, so I can also hear myself if I'm speaking. And I love my voice, right?
Up to you. Maybe you connect through your phone. Yeah. So let's see how the secrets manager team is doing. Boom.
One of them. Which one has tags?
Alex.
Okay.
Oh, Alex.
Alex. Okay.
What a collection.
Hi there.
I have one question.
Barish has joined.
Did it work when I left?
It literally did.
Then see you guys later. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, we're able to register secrets.
Like the secrets that you had seems like the names that we have in our like weekly cooldown sessions when we play games. Like Adam, Alex, Barış, Alex Hamza, Alex Adam, Arya Secret, Barış K, Barış V, Barış 2K, Barış 2V, and Hamza. And joining them is now Barış, I guess.
No, Barish hasn't seen the light of day yet. We're trying to get. You will have to access actually the properties, I guess. So it's like maybe we can breakpoint in there and have a look at what this thing is. So client.getSecret, write that to some variable, the thing you just deleted, like C equals client.getSecret, and then we have a look at with rich inspect or whatever what that thing is, because I think at some point in there we're going to find the tags and labels. For everyone else who just joined, Azure and Google have a completely different understanding of what's a secret. AWS thinks a secret is a collection of key value pairs. Google and Azure think a secret is one key and one value. Basically, the value is the secret and the key is the name of that value. And we're trying to marry these two worlds by using tags on the secrets to kind of cluster them into larger collections of key value pairs. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're doing here. So we're trying to look at how we can access the labels we've set in our create secret method. Are you sure the Alex one has a tag?
What tags?
Let me verify this.
You can see it here.
Yeah, you have it?
Yeah, it's here. Tags.
Ah, okay. Well, I should never have doubted you. Okay, so it's secret.properties.tags.
.ZenML group key.
Yeah. You're not setting both of the tags that we set on the GCP side?
What do you mean both tags?
On GCP, we set ZenML group key and another one. Let me...
schema name? That's what Copilot is telling me to write.
Copilot is probably correct.
Yeah. Copilot, right?
I mean, you have to trust it, and it actually makes sense. The ZenML schema name you need, because when you get the secret, you want to know which ZenML schema was used to save it, because then you can actually validate if it still conforms to that schema. Okay. So that's for the typing we talked about at the beginning of the session. Okay, so it's get secret. .c. We have a secret called C.
I did something.
I wasn't expecting to Adam to join from there, as you can see. Hello. Are you on your phone? On your mobile? How did you actually put the thing on power?
I just logged in with my. I plugged in my laptop and now I'm in the meeting, so I'm on my headphones.
Right.
Properties dot What was it?
Properties.tags.
By the way, it seems like there are a few more people on YouTube. If you guys don't know, what we're doing right now is like a MLOps day, where we have 4 different sessions, and our teams are working on separated topics in different Hangouts calls. And me and Adam, Adam and I,
square brackets.
We're just switching room to room and then see how the progress is going. So yeah, I will send the links again. If you want to join the specific rooms, you can do so.
Alright, so right now we're testing out some things so that we can implement the get secrets method. We are able to use our ZenML stack to write secrets to Azure. Now we want to query them and pull them apart. Why is it saying deleting your secret from Aria's vault? Oh, that's just stuff from above. Okay.
Love the naming.
She deserves a vault of her own.
Yeah, I can imagine it. Aria having the vault.
Okay, so for some reason tags is not a dictionary. Maybe it's something else.
Non-type object. It could be the case that it's empty. When the tags is empty, is it just an empty dict or just a none?
That's a good question. We'll probably see now.
At points like this, what I usually do is to do like tags.get. Then you can give the key and then define the default as an empty dict if you want to stay with the dict.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be
Alex. It should be because you made the secret be C instead of Alex. Okay. My phone is ringing. I'll be right back.
Sure. I made it be C because there's no. It should. Yeah, you're right. It shouldn't have any tags at this point.
If it's gonna help, I can also leave if you want to. Apparently, when I left again, things started working again. So that was my first question coming into the room, and they said, "Yeah, actually, when you left, it worked immediately." I was just about to leave.
So why are you still here?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you can switch still. No, it's fine. Do you have a rough timeline, maybe, Alex? Or like about like a plan about like or a forecast on how things would go?
Well, we're just keeping going. I mean, there's this one thing around basically making ZenML work well with the specific way that Azure uses tags and labels and so on to store keys, to store secrets rather. Once we figure that out, it should be fairly quickly. It's just a question of adapting previous code that exists. But yeah, I wouldn't be so bold as to propose a timeline.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, get secret C won't get you tags. I checked in the UI. The secret C does not have tags, so that's why you don't find tags.
We're doing it in the Azure test where we're not doing anything with tags. So
yeah,
that makes sense.
Okay. Now, in order to make it work, I'll leave you guys to it.
Okay. Thank you, Barnett.
Then see you guys later.
See you.
It works.
See you later.
So what should we do now?
I still have the mobile phones now.
Yeah, you have to switch. Where should we go?
Where do we go?
Is Hamza back?
I don't know.
I think they may have some things to show. So we can try to see what they're doing.
Okay, yeah, Felix is.
Oh, great. Some outcomes of the MLOps day. Before I join again, I see a few people joining in to the YouTube stream. So for those who don't know, we are making this like we have 4 different sessions going on at the moment, where our team are like 4 different teams are working on different topics. And if you want, you can join these talks. Just let me know over the through the chat, I can send you the links, or if you can stay with us on YouTube and we'll go and visit each room within like 10 or 15 minute intervals. Let's join the ChatOps team now.
Okay, hey guys.
Hello.
1 second, I have crazy echo here. Okay, I think now it should work.
Yeah. At one point I was actually like loving the messages where you said, looks good to me, looks good to me, looks good to me, stop. Love that.
A lot of messages coming in for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me show off what we did. So maybe I can show you first. So this was the other tutorial I showed up it in the beginning. So
too noisy, I'm sorry. And now I can hear you way better, Felix.
You can hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, everything good.
Perfect.
So that is the example I showed in the very beginning. So what we're doing is we're building a Slack integration that can, whenever that you can integrate into your pipelines, and when you have some events that you want to inform people about, let's say you detect drift in your data or your model performance degrades, then you want to automatically post a message. And we had already hacked this together yesterday, actually. And today what we wanted to do is extend this and also have an ask functionality where the bot would actually, or the pipeline would wait for some user response. So you could imagine this in a deployment pipeline where you want to deploy a model. And then before the deployment is actually going live and replacing the current production model, you maybe want to send a notification in Slack saying, hey, a new model has been trained. Do you want to deploy this now? The accuracy is higher, but maybe have a look. And then you wait for user response, and only if you as a developer say, yes, deploy it, then it goes live. So before, this is already a short example that we had written, where we basically, is this the Slack example? Oh no, this is quick start. 1 second, so here's the correct one. So here we had already a short example where we register the Slack alerter, and then simply run a pipeline which posts the accuracy that we achieved on the test set in a Slack channel. And you can also see this on the right, actually. You can see a lot of messages. And if I run this example, then 1 second, I have some changes. Okay, let's try it again. So if I run this example, then you will see this is training a model, evaluating it, and then you immediately get a reply. Test accuracy is this and this high. And now what we implemented now is a run ask.py method. So
everybody on the team is chiming in now.
This one, in the beginning, that's the exact same. It also posts a test accuracy. And now you can imagine it would ask for user input saying, hey, do you now want to deploy a model or not? And only if the user says yes, then we deploy, otherwise we don't. So now what we can do here now is respond to something like looks good to me or approve. And then we can see in the code, like it was noted that this user, which is me, approved the action on Slack and the pipeline returned true. So now we could add a deployer step afterwards that now deploys the model if this was true. And similarly, if we run this again, and then right here, decline. This was a typo, so that does nothing. If we say decline, then it will say, I disapproved this, so it would not deploy a new model.
Nice, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, I think that's it from our side. I mean, overall code, we're using Slack SDK for this, the real-time messaging client. So this actually, once you call this, one second, where are we now here? Once you call the ask method, this starts a new Slack client, which just waits in another thread and basically is going on continuously listening to all messages in the channel that we specified when registering the Slack component, and only if the text OK, approve, or LGTM was written, then it stops. Or similarly, if the client reject or stop was written, then it also stops. And this is the error now that I see it. So
absolutely beautiful.
What it does.
Maybe with that in mind, we can use this chance to also talk about the overall experience a bit. I know like this is just one of the types of components that we support in our stack, and what you basically did is to just get the base extension, write a custom flavor, and then like integrate it into ZenML. Like as the author of this integration, like how did it feel for you? Like the overall interaction?
Yeah, overall, I think for components that we already have, writing custom flavors or custom integrations, I think is pretty easy. You essentially just go to the base class and then you have to override. So in this case, we have like an alerter somewhere in the codes, which already has like the base methods defined that's this component should have, and you would just overwrite it according to what you want to implement. So in our case, for a Slack alerter, you just have to write the actual implementation of Ask. And similarly, the next steps now would be to maybe also support other ChatOps tools or Discord or I don't know, whatever other tools we want to do, Trello maybe. And I think that would be fairly easy. You just have to find out what is the SDK that you want to use of the respective tool, and then do the same thing, essentially, implement the methods you want. So yeah, very easy to extend.
Really looking forward to those as well. Whether they might be like internal developments or like external contributions, it would be great to have those under the ZenML arsenal.
Coming sooner or later for sure.
Nice, amazing.
Cool, yeah. I think that's it from my side now. So
yeah, I mean the other teams were asking about you guys a lot, whether like you were already crossing the finish line. I'll tell them like
they will get nervous then.
Yeah, the alerter guys nailed it, and we're the first ones to cross the finish line. So
yeah, still some work to cleaning up the code and writing examples and so on, but looking good.
Yeah, absolutely looks good. Amazing, we have our first finish of one of our projects. So we still have the GitHub Actions orchestrators going on, we still have the Azure Secrets operators going on, and we still have the model deployment team working. Where should we switch? Which team haven't we visited in a while? So we
just came from Michael.
But before that we were with Alex and Alexei, so I think we should switch to Stefan and Safwan.
Yes.
So with that, thank you for the demo. Again, amazing.
See you later, Felix.
Yeah, really looking forward to using it, even like in our team. See ya. So, I hope the stream is going well for everybody. As we've said, we would join the model deployment stage and see what Stefan and Safwan is up to.
We need the key serve client for like the initialization of the client.
Hello, hello. We're just coming from the guys who are working on the alerters, and happy to say that we have our first team which crossed the finishing line. thought we might also jump
First
in
place.
and see the
So close.
progress.
I can say we're done with the service.
Amazing.
And we can even show you
nice
the run of it. I hope it's still running. Let me delete this one. I'll show you exactly what happens. With the service ready, we can create a single, what the main code looks like. Still the same, and we can create one service with the configuration and serve one model. On this, you'll see an error. Service. Well, I think we're in a place where, yes, we're no longer able to, we are advanced past that point. I think you missed it. What we're doing now is working already on phase 2. Safwan is creating the model deployer stack component. So he's doing that now, and then with this in place, we'll have a complete implementation of this integration. But we're still in the middle of achieving minimal functionality for the deployer.
I see. That still looks good.
I estimate, I don't know, 15 minutes maybe. How much time do we still are we still on?
That's actually a good thing, because we just got word that we have to go to the orchestrator group. I think they have something cooking. I'd like to see what it is, and then we'll come back to you if that's okay.
Sure.
Looking forward. All right, perfect. See you guys soon.
Wait, welcome back.
Let's see what the orchestrator team is working on. Quite exciting stuff if the GitHub actions are working. Where did I put the link? Here. Let's see. Michael and Ayush. I am getting some news.
What kind of news did you get?
Some people urge me to visit you guys.
Yes, give me just 1 second. I don't know, I just commit this. And I will show you a pipeline run. I guess that's what you're here to see.
Absolutely. Nice.
You're
so close. Yes. The alerter team also, I would say, crossed the finish line. So
we have for the last few hours. And this will now create a new run for this pipeline, which will build a Docker image that will be quite quick as it's cached already. So we're done already. It's pushing the Docker image to my container registry in GitHub. It finished pushing it. It's running it. If we now take a look at
that looks cool. That looks cool.
It's probably going to take some time now to do something actually. But we should see a pipeline running, hopefully, which is really bare bones. So, but it's running something.
Absolutely amazing, though. And these are all with ZenML pipelines and all steps, right?
Exactly. Yes, amazing. I can show you in the meantime the pipeline. So ZenML steps, ZenML pipelines.
And can you maybe mention like what are the things that people would have to know if they want to take a look at this, or if they want to take this one step ahead? Like, what would they need to know? What would they need to think about?
If they are you talking concretely about the GitHub Actions orchestrator, or?
Yeah, GitHub Actions orchestrator. Yes.
Okay, so I guess there's quite a few limitations. We actually did trick you here because this is a pipeline with 3 steps, but they are all not dependent on each other. Like, it's 3 inputless steps, and we're using that because we're cheating and writing to a local file system. So actually sharing stuff between steps doesn't work. So as you can imagine, it's not super useful yet. We would need to connect that to a metadata store, which requires secrets. So that's just one of the limitations that this orchestrator currently still has. Other than that, it's missing lots of validations to make sure it doesn't actually do something in like a repository where it isn't supposed to do it. Like, we could add lots of validations that you're inside a Git repository, which would right now just crash if you aren't, that you are inside a GitHub repository. Because otherwise it doesn't make sense to actually push the YAMLs, right? If there's no GitHub workflows running in your repository, we probably shouldn't do it. And lots of these nice to have features, I think, are still missing. So this is really just a extended proof of concept that we can generate those YAMLs. It is able to run your steps inside the Docker containers in GitHub Actions. And I'm guessing if we get the time, like in the next few weeks, that we will internally flesh this out, as it's definitely on the list of things I want to do, and add all these nice to have features and the corresponding secret manager for the orchestrator. So I would tell everyone to probably stay tuned on our release notes, as we're going to have something related to that soon. And otherwise, I'll create a branch for it, definitely, in the ZenML repo, which people can use, or maybe even fork and work on their own if they're interested.
That's really cool. And now, after more than 3 hours, you convinced Hamza to start our repository. Thank you, Hamza.
Finally.
We get notifications about like all the stars that we get, Hamza. We just saw yours. Also put a smile on our faces, I think. So, thank you for that. So yeah, I mean, I think one thing that I wanted to also discuss maybe was the metadata and artifact stores with you, Michael, because I think in a bare bones setting, this makes this is already quite impressive to come to this point in 3 hours. And once we figure out the way where this component can also talk to the other components, such as the artifact store and metadata store, which are already available, by the way, don't get us wrong. It's not like some impossible thing, it just needs the right implementations, and once they're there, this orchestrator might be more than functional, I would say. I have high expectations of the GitHub Actions orchestrator.
Me too, absolutely. I'm looking forward to people actually using this and seeing how far we can actually run production pipelines, maybe even just using GitHub Actions.
Yeah. Great. Nice. Amazing. Well, what a pace. The second team.
I heard great results from the alerters as well. So I think at that point, it's just 2 more teams left. I'm not sure if I'll probably have a short drink downstairs, and then if Hamza is still here or if anyone else is interested, I'll continue maybe doing a little cleanup. We had quite a lot of hacky stuff happening in the last half an hour, especially that needs some cleanup, and maybe even take a look at the GitHub on just trying to get secrets into the orchestrator, because I you can specify those in the files, I think. So might be worth it just to try to see if my approach works there. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with how far we got till now.
Amazing, nice, amazing, cool. If you come now, also come say hi.
We do.
Really happy to see the progress. So with that, we still have the secrets manager team and the model deployment team. We should we go to the stuff, Alex and Alexei first to give more breathing room to Stefan? Yeah. So we'll head there.
Need some time, the others.
And thank you guys, and see you soon.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
You have to
need to switch.
Yeah. So let us join the other stream then. Let's see. Whenever I leave, they make huge progress. So hopefully the last time I left. Oh, I think even Hamza is in that room. Let's see.
It keeps recording.
Hello.
How did you like GitHub orchestrators?
Huh?
How did you like GitHub orchestrators?
Impressive. This is okay. The alert team now became the secrets team.
Now they're watching the pet panel that's happening here on Alex's screen. The little cats and ducks and Clippy.
Ah, Alex, where do you find all the cool stuff? I want this.
And this is what you were doing all the time.
Alexei, do you see what I'm doing wrong here?
No.
Look at the teams who completed their tasks. They're just
working
celebrating
what?
there.
What? What's being
internal Azure stuff?
Come again?
That's internal Azure stuff.
Yeah.
But
okay, but if you scroll down and look at the other exception, the one that's closer to home, I guess. What? Okay, bad request. What are we querying? Like, where's up on top? We're going to be doing secret and list properties of secrets, and then we don't want to get secret. We want to get secret.name. Yeah, and then secret property.name. Because that's not a string, the secret property, that's like some sort of dict, right?
No, it's a string. These properties are just strings.
No, you're iterating through them. The list of properties that you get back here, you're iterating through to get the secret names. Yeah, but that only returns strings because you have list comprehension in line 28. Yes, now it should work.
If there's any need for me to leave to help you guys, just let me know.
No, shit. We see. Okay, we still need to check, I guess, if the response is none, and handle that graciously. But why would the response be none? That's the other question.
We're iterating over all properties.
Yeah, okay. True, some of them might just not be hairy.
So
Looks good. So how's the GitHub orchestrator team doing?
Pretty well. They had a running pipeline if you check GitHub. So,
nice.
I mean, the pipeline itself is still has a lot of room for improvement, but I mean, getting a pipeline to run in about roughly 3 hours, like Michael and Ayush really outdid themselves, I would say. And yeah, they now, I think, also taking a little bit of a break. Yeah. But everything is going good. We also heard from Stefan that we should visit him soon. So, really excited to see what Stefan and Safan is also cooking up.
I'm also very curious to see how Ksurf is gonna look.
Help me out, Alexei.
Okay, what's happening?
I'm just typing things at this point.
Just write if response, like that didn't look bad.
Yeah, but then that wasn't working.
Okay, then just do if response and response properties tags get blah blah blah. Then just do an and out of it.
Would it be easier to debug that through like a breakpoint, so you can see?
We can't though, because the rich CLI has this thing which covers up the debugging. The debug, we can't use it with rich.
Then why don't you just do like out of here, just do tags equals, like enter tags equals response.properties.tags.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if that made any sense what I just said. If tags and response.properties, no, and tags.get ZenML group key.
All right. It seems like you guys are in full debug mode.
Absolutely.
Maybe we should switch back to Stefan. Also, the notion of me leaving might help. It's exciting me a bit.
Might make it run.
I want to see whether it happens. So let us switch to Stefan and Safan, and we'll be back.
All right.
All right. Perfect. Have fun, guys.
See you on the other side. No secrets found within Harry.
Within the Harry.
So let us switch back to Stefan and Safan. Just as I was also already here, it's easier to switch. So even if you leave the room every time.
That's not part of the Ksurf client, is it?
No, it's not.
So we do. So we have the labels. Now we have to work through a Ksurf client, get, and that's the problem, right? Because how do I do get?
You have only limited.
Is there even such a thing?
Yeah.
Get.
Hello. Hi, Barish.
Hello. I wasn't waving. I'm just trying to get the camera to make the image sharper. So, how's it going, guys?
Really close.
Nice.
And we're running into a snag, it seems. I think we're missing a critical piece of functionality in the Ksurf API. We might have to implement ourselves. Yeah, that's too bad. All right. So we need to get a list of all the Ksurf inference services that have these labels. Do we still have time? Boris?
Yeah, I think so. We are closing in on the end of the session, but I think we still have like half an hour to go.
So where do the close up on close to 6 p.m.?
I don't want to rush anyone, so I think everybody's working on important things. I don't want to rush anything. It would be nice if we can have like a small session where everybody's in the same meeting. We can, as I've said, like everybody can say a few words about the stuff that they did, if they enjoyed it, and what they would like to do next. So in my head, that might take something like a 10 to 15 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, maybe I'd say.
So if we take that in mind, you would have like 10 to 12 minutes, if that's okay.
Okay. Bye.
15, yeah.
Have
cool,
all
looking forward.
This will this become a meme? Because like I every time I leave Alexei's room, the stuff that they are not working suddenly start working. And I've said it a few times, and now, right before I came here, guys, I was with them, and just got a message from Alexei, 4 words, you left, it worked. I don't know.
So maybe we can take that time to implement the missing piece. There's just one missing, everything is connected together now. So we have all the pieces connected, everything is in place. The only thing that is missing is this one minor function that says, give me all the case of deployments with these labels. And we need to implement that maybe ourselves. Bother with my type annotations anymore. Let's make this quick if we can. I hope what we can do is is to let's see. Yes. Hey. I think I'm going to fake it. I will buy us even more time.
Nice.
They say. Fake it means we're going to pretend that all of our deployments are no, that's not good. What is this even calling get? List namespace custom object. And if I'm not mistaken, this namespace custom object can also take in no labels. No, unfortunately no. Or maybe it can. I don't know. Label selector, right?
Still bien.
So there's a label selector. So what I'm gonna do is, let's say, do this. Hack KSF client. And pretend it takes in an optional label selector. And all we have to do is, now that I have this here, else, if name else, okay. all I have to do is get the label selector from the labels. And I think we have something in Seldon client for that. I have to go a bit deep here to make it happen. So when I do Seldon find deployments, this goes through labels and does something with it. Something like this. I think I did too much. So if name, no, we don't have name. Oh, we have name. Can we have name? Do we have in find? No, we don't have name. So I pretend we don't have name. And what we have is field selector this, label selector this, and return deployments. Very easy. We don't care about field selector, right? No. I don't know about this app ZenML. I think we didn't impose that convention that we label all of these with apps ZenML. Did you do that in service? I don't remember. There's no. Nope. No app here. No. I don't know where we do that. Maybe we don't. Anyway, so just not to mess this up, I'm not going to impose this restriction. All right, I think I have everything, including the in 5 minutes. We have 5 minutes left. Let's see if we can make this work. First of all, let me
no pressure.
Register.
Yeah.
Let me register it.
Let me start the cooldown on my phone.
All right. Since it's registered, then we can do what we can do to demo this. We can start maybe we deploy.
Should I give you a bit of a breathing room and maybe go to the well, for the one last time, let's go.
Yes, then we return again.
Secrets manager, we take the guys and come here. Is that fine?
Okay.
We'll meet you guys in this channel.
Okay.
Perfect. This is gonna be one of our last switches, so let's hear about how it worked. The theme of this room became how did it work when Baruch left. So let's see what the news are now. How are you always faster than you go? That's what I was saying. You were going in and coming back.
Instead of going through the keys, we need to go through the main ones. Makes sense?
Yep.
Yeah, this has messed with my mind as well. But that made that one very easy. All right, guys.
Hello, we're just here to pick you up actually, because in 5 minutes we're gonna meet in another room, and just wanted to check in how it's going as Barish left the last time.
We got it working without Barish.
I don't want this to become a trend. I don't want to leave you guys all the time.
It's not that you're not there. It's that you come and then you leave.
Okay.
Nice.
If I come and don't leave, what happens then?
Maybe we're just inspired after you come, and then.
I think so.
Okay.
Well,
the
fairy
get the
dust
positive.
Should we stop the recording here and then slowly make our way over?
Sure, but do you guys have something to show? Maybe
Yeah.
registration of a secret before we close out.
That would be amazing.
Nothing to show on my side. We never got the Azure CLI to work on my machine.
Okay. Perhaps Alex?
Oh, I'm not sharing my screen.
No.
That takes away the fun of what I was typing.
Very expecting like a reaction out of us, and nobody said anything. Aww. When he leaves through, not always through. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Oh no, you have to do underscores here, but Azure would destroy those.
But you can also read it as Barish is the best when he leaves, right?
Minus when he leaves, minus not always true.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that separates Barish is the best, and when he leaves, I'm happy about that.
Okay,
Right.
so we've registered our secrets. Now we can do ZenML secret get Barish is the best.
So.
And we get the values, and then we can just get the keys we've registered so far.
That's what I wanted to ask. Perfect. Looking really good.
3 out of 6.
What do you mean by 3 out of 6?
Of the abstract methods that need to be implemented.
I thought Barish
But
is 3 out of 6. Yeah, I thought you were rating the implementation or something.
Or how best Barish really is.
Yeah, that's also true.
But best is 6 out of 6. It's not.
And so I'll turn the question back on you, Barish, and Adam, since you've been the hosts for today. How's your hosting life been?
Stressful. It's like being on every party.
Yeah, I mean, you have to stay up all the time, like engaged all the time. But at the same time, I enjoyed it a lot actually. Like to be able to talk to everyone, see how it's going, and be, even though you're like you join the team from the outside, it feels like you're a part of that team as well. So even when the good stuff happens when you leave, so.
Yeah, it was really fun. So let's switch over and see what the others did and how the day was for them.
Yeah, let's all gather at the deployment room.
Do you have a link?
Yes, I posted it in
Discord
general.
Can we leave this open, or shall I just close it down?
I think we now can stop the recording.
Yeah, you can stop the recording and we can call this a successful meeting.
Yeah. Okay, I'll see you all in the deployment.
Thank you guys.
See you over there.
This is also nice because this is the easiest room for me to join. So out of the 4 rooms, the link shows up there. Okay, we already.
Now you work with us. Thanks. Haven't had the tab ready. Normally I have the tab ready.
Namespace. Key
And the
server
last
network
thing
has a
of
name.
today.
Namespace. Where is that? Where does it come from? Self namespace. Okay, that's not good. Self namespace.
It should be added like to because like
where is
it doesn't make
namespace?
it.
Right?
Yeah, it's that one.
No, oh.
Hello, hello. How's it going, guys?
Hey, welcome back. Is everyone joining this channel now, or should we go back to?
No pressure. Take your time, Stefan.
Deployment is string. Why is deployment string? Deploy model, find model server. Read from deployment. No, I don't know. It's saying that the deployment is string. Somewhere here, it's not returning what we thought it would. So case of client doesn't return objects. It returns something else. I'm gonna go this. Enable. All right, I don't think it's going to work. So we're really close, but it will probably need more than, I don't know, more than 20 minutes or to fix
30,
this.
like always 30 minutes. But I mean, the point that you guys have got to is already quite impressive. It's just maybe like we can make a stop here. I just wanted to use these like last 10 minutes for us to relax a bit. We had an amazing day. And just use this chance to appreciate that fact and say thank you to everyone who joined, who listened to us, who worked on these stuff with us. And just wanted to maybe shortly, like briefly go over the room, get everybody's opinions about the stuff that they did, about their team project and what they enjoyed. So feel free to start. Maybe let me say one name, then you guys take it over and point it to someone else. Let me start with Alexei then.
That was unexpected. Yeah, we've been working on the Azure Secret Manager. Had some roadblocks on the way where my machine couldn't access Azure over the Azure CLI. But fortunately, Alex was able to do it, and he took over and basically implemented most of it. I think we have 3 methods left to implement for the secret manager. Overall, this was really fun and just cool talking while working and
Nice.
Going through the concepts as well.
Nice.
I think I'll just hand over to Alex as we've been sharing that same task.
Yeah, no profound conclusions from my side, although I have gained respect for Azure's API. I actually find that much cleaner than any of the other secrets manager APIs that we've had to work with so far. So that was like quite clean and nice to work with. Obviously there's some stuff around just getting authenticated or whatever, which was not quite as clear, at least on Alexei's side. But yeah, that was nice, and it was nice also to experience ZenML's extensibility from the user side as well. So we weren't coding as if we were part of the ZenML team. We were coding as if we weren't. So it, yeah, that was not at all any of our roadblocks along the way. So yeah.
Nice. Give it away to a different team. Are you muted?
let's talk to the alerted team, since I know they cheated by doing a lot of it ahead of time, but yeah, let's hear from them.
You guys are muted as well?
Yeah. Yeah, so we implemented like a alerter that asks you for confirmation that you can put somewhere in the middle of your pipeline. Let's say you have trained a model and you want to deploy it, but first you want to get a human in the loop. You don't just want to automatically override your current production model. So it sends a Slack message saying, hey, this model is trained. It's maybe better than your currently deployed model. Do you want to go ahead now and push it to production? Instead, if you ask accept, or if someone replied accept in the corresponding channel, then it continues and does the model deployment. And otherwise, if you write decline or if it times out, then nothing happens and the model is not deployed. That's basically what we implemented, this ask functionality in Stack. And yeah, I think it was also a lot of fun. Any words you want to add to that, Hamza?
Yeah, I would say as one of the few teams who actually finished in time.
Bragger.
They do actually manage to do what they set out to do. We actually have had obviously a less complex challenge in front of us. Had a lot of code which we could sort of copy paste, but kudos to Felix, he was able to pull it off with the older version of the SDK, where the SDK was the bigger blocker, and it was great to experience extending ZenML as well, as Alex said. And I think the most fun part was just looking at how many people joined, and we still have to win the call. 4 hours watching people randomly code stuff is not easy, and I'm very glad that even 2 made it to the end. So it was a great first experience. I think this is the beginning of some sort of open MLOps conference, I think. So if we take it further. Let's go to Stefan.
Yeah, what can I say? Let me start by saying thank you to the 2 heroes that we still have with us, Bartek and Hamza, the other Hamza. If you made it this far, then you guys are real rock stars. So we've been going at it for a long time. About what we're doing with Kserve, I think we're 15 minutes away from completion. What we call completion, of course, it will take 2 more days to make it pretty with docs and doc strings and everything. But other than that, I think functional, we're 15 minutes away from that. We also sort of cheated because we used Seldon Core as the example of integration that we already have with ZenML, and we shamefully copied code from the integration over to Kserve and we modified it. So and that also tells you that we have a lot of code that we can probably reuse and make a sort of a pattern out of that. We also, what can I say about Kserve? That it's really nice to have an SDK client to use that we can just, and initially my Visual Studio code wasn't working. It wasn't doing the proper autocomplete. But once I fixed that, I found it really useful to have access to an SDK for Kserve, and that helped a lot. Yeah, and Safwan was a great help. We didn't even have a Kserve deployment at the beginning. He made sure that we have that to use for testing. He started coding in parallel with me, using this nice feature that Visual Studio Code has with like live sharing. He was working on the model deployer. I was working on the service. It was really nice to meet in the middle. Really a great experience so far. Really hope to do it again soon and also get this integration to completion. Sorry, I took too long. I really liked what happened today. Hope you did too.
Safwan.
Okay, but before I start talking about myself, here is spoiler alert. Here is Hamza. He was cheating. He was actually watching me and Stefan, and at the same time he was at Michael, and the orchestrator stuff. Actually, it was actually a great experience. I really enjoyed this. It was fun. Actually, we cheated a bit, like, and I was a bit scared when the kube flow, like, the cluster actually got down, the GKE got down. So I was like, what's going on here? I wanted it like, because without the Kubernetes cluster, we couldn't test this. And I wanted to thank Bartek. Like, he was a great help, actually. We did this, the three of us, like, he contributed a lot when we were doing this. And I really, like, hope we can do this, like, more often. Thank you guys for this. Thank you so much.
Pretty cool. Nice to have you here.
So, maybe Michael?
Is it just me left? Right, that's getting a strange echo. All right, yeah, I can only repeat, like, first of all, thanks to Hamza, which now that we know he's sitting next to Safwan, watching two streams at the same time, but I think he stayed at least as a spectator in my channel for over 3 hours. So yeah, it was really nice to at least have always someone there. I really enjoyed today as well. I initially thought I'm the one cheating the most because we sort of did like a hack on the GitHub orchestrator before, but now coming at it from a different angle of a user of ZenML and also having the completely restructured orchestrators, it wasn't actually of too much use, this old code. So I feel like I wrote most of the stuff from scratch again. It came to a point where running pipelines again was possible, still like nowhere close to getting that merged or anything, but at least as like a proof. Good news for you, Alexei, I even found a GitHub CLI which allows us to write secrets. So GitHub Actions secret manager isn't completely lost yet. We'll have to see if that actually works. But that I feel is the next step that we need to actually bring this a step further. Other than that, yeah, it was super fun. Had really enjoyed today, and yeah, looking forward to doing this more often and also completing the features that we started today.
Nice. Now I feel bad because everybody passed the ball to their teammates, but I didn't do so. I didn't pass the ball in time to my great teammate Adam. Maybe with that.
Yes, otherwise I hear myself and take it off. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. It was really, really fun. It was amazing to see into behind every shoulder. That was really amazing. Hamza, now I know also, like the other Hamza, now I also know why you said you had mic problems. So because you were in a different stream, and that's really funny when I just realized that. Bartek as well, thank you so much for contributing. Really cool that you were with us for so long. And yeah, I think we need to repeat that definitely very soon. It was exhausting but amazing.
Absolutely. I'm really hoping this is going to be first of many future MLOps days.
Nice.
Hamza,
And the last words maybe from our side for the rest of the team. Thank you to the amazing hosts, Barish and Adam. You guys did a fantastic job going through, so we could take a break in the middle, but you guys should really think of hosting maybe YouTube shows in the future. So thank you so much. I think everyone on YouTube, everyone on this channel, from all of our side, thank you everyone for joining.
Great, and we are right on time. Take care, bye-bye, thank you.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.